Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto has a dojutsu in one eye. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by the Hug Machine and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Character talking, character thinking, QB talking, commentary, jutsu, with someone/someplace. It was just another boring day at the academy for a 6-year-old Naruto Uzumaki. He was just sitting at his table/desk half asleep waiting for Iruka to say he could leave. He then planned on going home, or better yet going to Ichiraku's. Damn it! Why the hell do I even need to go to these classes? I mean, all I have to do is pass the Genin exam when it comes up, right? Who the hell am I kidding? I can't even make a simple bushin. There's no way I can afford to skip class. Plus on top of that I still have 5 years left of this, so I couldn't skip all of that. Naruto thought to himself until the current class conversation snapped him out of his own thoughts. So does anyone know what a Kekkai Genkai is? Iruka asked to the class to, almost instantly, see a hand raised, and it belonged to none other than Sakura Haruno. Yes Sakura, go ahead. Iruka said as Sakura nodded, stood up, and started to explain. Kekkai Genkai are abilities passed down genetically in specific clans. Most clans have developed special jutsu related to their Kekkai Genkai, and their related jutsu cannot be taught or copied by others, as they require the specific genetic trait to work. Kekkai Genkai abilities that work via the user's eye, for example, are called dojutsu, such as the Byakugan and Sharingan. Sakura stated to the rest of the class and Iruka. Very good Sakura, you may have a seat now. Iruka complimented as Sakura glanced over at Sasuke to see if he was looking at her, but to her disappointment, he wasn't even paying attention to what she had said. For the simple fact that he knew all of this already. As Iruka scanned over his class, he noticed something very strange. His class prankster and favorite student, though he would never admit it, Naruto, was wide awake and paying full attention to the conversation at hand. This shocked Iruka very much, because Naruto was always either asleep, daydreaming, or simply wasn't there, which meant that Iruka would have to go find him and bring him back to class. After Iruka got over his sudden shock of what he had seen, he decided that his class had learned enough for the day, and decided he would end it. Okay class. That's enough for today, and your homework for tonight is to be able to tell me at least one Kekkai Genkai and facts about it by tomorrow, Iruka said as the class started to leave the academy. By the time Iruka started to leave, he scanned over the room to find Naruto still there, in his seat, deep in thought. Kekkai Genkai, huh? Wow, that sounds so cool. I wonder if I have one I don't know about. That would be so awesome. Naruto thought to himself excitedly. Iruka walked over to Naruto, and placed a hand on his shoulder, snapping Naruto from his thoughts, as he suddenly looked up at Iruka. Naruto, you can go now, class is over. Iruka stated calmly, with a slight smile. Naruto looked at Iruka and nodded. Yeah, I guess I should get going, huh? Naruto got up out of his table/desk and started to walk towards the door when he noticed it was currently dark outside. Wow. How long have I been sitting in here for? He thought to himself as he started to walk home. Then once again, Naruto felt a hand on his shoulder, and as Naruto turned to see whom it was, he noticed once again it was Iruka. Oh hey Iruka-sensei, I didn't see you come up behind me, Naruto said with a smile. Yeah, I just thought I would talk to you for a bit before you went home, was Iruka's response. What did you want to talk about, sensei? Naruto asked with a curious look on his face. Well, what Kekkai Genkai are you going to look up for class tomorrow? You seemed really into it, when we were talking about them in class today. Iruka responded again. Naruto seemed to get really excited just by Iruka's mentioning of the subject, and got a huge grin on his face. Yeah. Kekkai Genkais are so cool. I plan on doing my report on either the Sharingan or the Byakugan. I think dojutsu is the coolest type of fighting there is. Naruto was clearly very into the subject, and Iruka could tell as he started to laugh. Well, I'm glad you're so into this subject, Naruto, Iruka said kindly with a smile. Yeah, well, I should probably be going now, Iruka-sensei. I have some things I have to do at my apartment, Naruto stated as Iruka nodded. Okay, take care, Naruto. I'll see you tomorrow, Iruka responded as Naruto turned and began to walk away with a slight wave goodbye. Man, I'm really hungry. I guess I'll make myself some ramen when I get home, Naruto thought to himself as he turned a corner and lost total sight of Iruka. Naruto kept walking for a while, once again getting lost in his own thoughts, until once again he was snapped out of them by something. Just like before, it was a hand on his shoulder, and he turned around expecting to see Iruka once again, but he was only met with a fist to his face, at great force. Naruto heard what he thought was demon before he hit the ground hard. This wasn't the first time, however, Naruto had been attacked. He actually got attacked 4 or 5 times a week, if not more. Naruto slowly sat up and looked at the person who had hit him. He looked around 6'5" and had a regular-sized build, but the thing that really stuck out to Naruto was the fact that this man was wearing an Umbu mask of what looked like a wolf with one eye and the typical Umbu uniform. Now Naruto knew this was a problem because he'd had people attack him before, and he always either had the choice to run or to fight. He also could get away from most chunin, and shockingly enough even some jounin, and if it turned out to be a villager then he could just fight them. But an Umbu member was a different story. There was no way he could get away from an Umbu member, and there was no way in hell he could fight one. Oh God! What should I do? Naruto screamed in his head. He was panicking big time. He had no idea what to do in this type of situation. Naruto looked at the man wearing the Umbu attire in terror, watching as he inched closer and closer to him. Naruto was actually on the verge of tears. He was so afraid of what was going to happen, and as the Umbu member got right in front of Naruto, Naruto did the only thing he could think of to do, and that was to run for his life. Naruto quickly jumped to his feet and took off past the Umbu member, and as he was running, all he heard was a laugh coming from where he had just been. Naruto was stumbling like crazy, but he never fell. That was until he bumped into something that had just appeared in front of him. Naruto looked up in horror, as it was the same man from before, but this time he had a kunai out. Where do you think you're going, demon? I don't believe I said you could leave just yet, the man said from behind his mask, hate and bloodlust clear in his voice. Naruto did the only thing he could think of to do, because he knew that trying to run away would not help him at all. He began to try to convince the man otherwise. Please, mister. I didn't do anything. Please leave me alone. I'll be good, I promise. Just don't hurt me, please, mister, Naruto begged, crying heavily, hoping the man would just leave him alone. The man slowly took off his mask, and as it slowly revealed the man's face, Naruto saw the man with a very bloodthirsty smirk on his face and a large scar across the right side of his face. Yeah. As if I would let you talk yourself out of this, demon. You killed my family, my friends, and my wife. However, for you that wasn't enough. No, along with that you took away my right eye. The man screamed at Naruto, who was shaking heavily and still sobbing, not sure of what to do. He was scared out of his mind and couldn't think straight anymore. I told you, mister. I didn't do anything. I've been good. I'll keep being good if you just leave me alone, please. Naruto was now screaming back at the man, trying with all his might to get the man to leave him alone. The man just laughed coldly and inched closer to Naruto until he was towering over him again, and then the man picked Naruto up by his shirt and lifted his kunai up into the air. Please, mister, don't do this to me. I didn't do anything wrong. I'll do whatever you say. Just, please, leave me alone. Naruto was hysterical at this point. He was thrashing around trying to get away at any cost. The man just laughed and swung the kunai down across the right side of Naruto's face while screaming, Die, demon! Naruto's scream pierced the air all over Konoha. It was so loud that Sandaime even heard it faintly, and knew exactly what it was the second he heard it. Naruto! He screamed, and instantly jumped out of the nearest window, taking off in the direction the scream had come from. Sandaime was panicking now. He felt the slight chakra signature that Naruto obtained, slipping away slowly. The scream also got to some other people, such as Iruka, who was eating some ramen of his own when he heard it. He instantly dropped his chopsticks, and was frozen in place by the deafening scream. No, it can't be! Naruto, hold on! Iruka screamed in his head and took off towards the scream. However, most of the other people either just ignored it, because they recognized the scream, or they got an evil smirk on their face because they knew exactly what was happening to the so-called demon child. The man was still holding Naruto in his hand, with a Satanist grin on his face. He actually found pleasure in the feeling of Naruto's blood hitting the hand that he was holding him by. You could say as of right now it was an eye for an eye. But don't worry, demon, I'll finish the job when you're older. I want to see the terror on your face when you see me again. The man laughed, threw Naruto to the dirt floor below, and jumped away still smirking. Naruto couldn't think straight at the moment. With all the pain, and the shock that came from his inability to see from his right eye anymore, it would be a shock if anyone could think straight in this type of situation. As all the things around him, that he could see with his left eye, slowly turned black, he fought the urge to slip into the sweet darkness that was calling for him, and thought to himself, why me? What have I done? I haven't done anything to anyone. The pranks. I have to stop with those. I can't believe people hate me so much for just pulling some little pranks on the village, but if this won't happen anymore, I'll do it. That is if I even survive this, he thought as he was engulfed with darkness, and the last thing he heard was the sound of footsteps, and the faint, familiar voice of an old man yelling Naruto. Naruto slowly opened his eyes to find himself in a sewer-type place with pipes all over, going every direction he could see. He slowly stood up, out of the shallow water that he had just recently been laying in. He started to look around and found only one way he could go, so obviously, he started to walk in that direction. Am I dead? Naruto thought to himself, only to hear a thunderous laughter come from down the hallway he was, as of now, walking, causing him to freeze instantly. No, you're not dead, kid, the booming voice said from down the hallway, causing Naruto to become very curious about whatever the thing was. Then some miracle of a way, his curiosity overtook his fear, as he started to walk down the hallway, once again. Where are you? A curious Naruto asked as he walked up to a giant gate with a piece of paper with the kanji 4 seal on it. Then Naruto froze right where he stood as what appeared to be a giant fox came into view, in the dimly lit place. Hello, kid, the giant creature said, causing a booming sound as Naruto saw its teeth. Just barely, but enough to see how sharp and big they were. Naruto began to shake heavily from fear. He was terrified, and once again didn't know what to do. Please don't kill me, Naruto began to beg just like he did not all that long before. Don't worry kid, I'm here to help you, the giant creature said, in a thunderous voice like before. Now Naruto was totally confused. He had no idea what was going on anymore. Well, not that he had much of an idea in the first place. Wait, so you're not going to hurt me? Naruto asked hopeful. No kid, I'm not, but there's a problem that we need to talk about, the creature stated totally serious. Okay, but first can you tell me who or what you are? Naruto asked, his voice filled with curiosity once again. Yeah sure kid, I'm the Kyuubi no Yoko, and I'm the king of all demons, the Kyuubi said simply. Now this got to Naruto big time. He was terrified but still was a tiny bit curious. But this time it was the fear that took over, as Naruto started to shake again. So why you're no not going to who hurt me? Naruto asked again, stuttering like crazy. He was still visibly shaking but he was slowly gaining back his composure, as time progressed. No kid, I told you I'm not going to hurt you, now we need to talk like I said, okay? Kyuubi asked, sort of irritated, waiting for Naruto's response. Naruto just nodded slowly, and waited for the Kyuubi to continue talking. The Kyuubi noticed Naruto's nod and continued, I hate to say this kid, but you're right, it's done. You won't be able to see out of it ever again. But, the Kyuubi was cut off by Naruto's yelling. What do you mean I won't be able to see with my right eye ever again? How am I supposed to be a shinobi if I don't have both my eyes? This can't be happening to me. Why me? Why? The Kyuubi sighed, and started trying to calm Naruto down. Kid, listen to me. As of now you won't be able to see out of your right eye ever again, but I can help with that if you want. The Kyuubi offered and Naruto just stood there shocked. Wait, you can help me? Naruto asked rather stupidly, seeing as the Kyuubi had just said that. Yes kid, I can help. The Kyuubi was once again cut off by Naruto's blabber. Wow. That's awesome. So how are you going to help me? Wait, but first, why are you here? And what is here anyway? Naruto asked, going from excited to confused in a matter of seconds. Well, as of where here is, I guess I should just say we're in your mind, Naruto. And Kyuubi getting cut off was beginning to become a ritual between the two, and they just met like 5 minutes ago, but all Kyuubi did was sigh as Naruto continued to talk. Wait. What? How are we in my mind? There's no way we're in my mind, Naruto said, totally in denial of what the giant fox had just told him. Kid, listen to me. We're in your mind, because I'm inside of you, and please ask questions at the end of my speech, okay? Kyuubi asked kindly, but slightly annoyed, to Naruto, which received a nod of agreement from him. Okay, well, I'm inside your body, because the damn fourth Hokage put me in this place. When you were born he took you, and sealed me inside you to save this worthless village, and we are communicating through your mind right now, because it's the only place we can chat with each other. Now got any questions? The Kyuubi asked Naruto politely. Naruto looked totally confused, and unsure of what was happening. He sat down, and started to think to himself, but it actually came out loud, because he was in his mind. Why did the fourth have to pick me? What did I do to deserve this? This isn't fair. My life has been hell all because of one thing I had no control over. Naruto started to scream as the truth finally dawned on him. And my eye. If it wasn't for him, my eye wouldn't be gone either. Naruto was furious now. He was growing a very deep hate for the man he had not too long before idolized. Kid, calm down, he had good reasons, and as far as your eye is concerned, I can help you, remember? The Kyuubi asked, trying to calm Naruto down a bit, and it worked shockingly. Naruto now had his full attention on the Kyuubi. So how can you help me? The Kyuubi chuckled for a while before talking again. Well, all of us Bijou, or legendary tailed beasts, as you humans call us, get to give one gift to our Jinchuriki, which is you, if we ever end up getting sealed, but most don't offer the gift, but seeing what has happened I'm willing to give you whatever you want. I suggest you go along the lines of something that helps with your ninja career. Naruto was in shock about what was being offered to him. He couldn't believe it, but wouldn't pass up this chance of a lifetime, and something came to his mind very fast. Okay Kyuubi, I want a Kekkai Genkai, and not just any Kekkai Genkai, I want mine to be the ability to be able to copy other Kekkai Genkais. Naruto shouted out, beyond happy, and was hoping that it was actually possible to get his requested ability. The Kyuubi sat there for a while before a smirk came to his face. Good choice kid, if I can say so myself, and you picked one that is right on the borderline of possibility, so you are able to obtain this power, but use it well. In addition, I'm going to give you a fake eye. One that looks no different than your old one, and even changes color if you use something that changes the color of your eyes/pupils, such as the Sharingan. On top of that though, it's going to be able to show you outlines of the things around you, so you can see things, just not well-defined details. The Kyuubi finished with a grin. Naruto then felt himself being pulled out of his mind, and he started to, vaguely, see things around him. It was blurry, but he could see that it was just his eye adjusting to the light, and his other eye was just as if Kyuubi said it would be. Naruto could see outlines but no details. He then began to look around to find a very tired-looking Irika sleeping in a chair next to his bed. Naruto slowly sat up to find his right eye was hurting him unbelievably bad. Well, his fake eye you should say. Naruto reached up to touch his eye to find it was bandaged up, which shocked him. How can I see outlines if there's something over my eye? Naruto asked to himself, until it dawned on him I can see through things, but I can't see details. That's the weakness, and the strength of the eye. Wow, that's so cool. A nurse then walked into Naruto's room, and Naruto was glad to see her, because she was the only one in the hospital that would actually treat Naruto, and since Naruto was in the hospital so much they were really close to each other. "Hey Azumi," Naruto said happily. He enjoyed seeing the young girl, because she was one of the few who treated him kindly. "Hey Naruto." Azumi responded, "It would be nice if we could see each other in a different place. I hate seeing you in here." The young girl said sadly. "Oh, don't worry Azumi, it's fine. I'm never really all that injured when I come here," Naruto said with one of his signature grins. Azumi smiled back, though she knew that was a lie, because she did tests on Naruto. Maybe to Naruto he was fine, but that was cause whenever he woke up he was better, and that was a result of the QB. "Yes sure Naruto, just try not to come back here for a while unless you're coming to see me, okay?" Azumi asked Naruto. "Yes sure thing," Naruto responded. "I'm going to have to run some tests on you though. So be good, okay?" "Okay wait, there won't be any needles, will there?" Naruto asked, frightened at the thought. "Just one Naruto." Naruto winced when he heard that, but Azumi continued, "But if I give you this shot it will make your right eye not hurt anymore." At that Naruto perked up and began to beg Azumi to give him the shot. Okay. Just calm down." Azumi laughed as she went to get the equipment she needed. "In the Hokage tower, it's gone, he won't be able to use it ever again," Sandaime said sadly. Why did this have to happen to Naruto of all people? "Oh, and did you ever find the person responsible for this?" a sad Iruka asked. "Unfortunately we have no idea who did this to Naruto, but the Umbu are looking all over to find anything that could be considered evidence," Sandaime stated to Iruka. "Damn well, if you find out who it was, can you tell me, Hokage-sama?" Iruka asked pleading. Sandaime smiled lightly and nodded his head, and with that Iruka was gone. Back at the hospital Naruto had just got his shot. His eye was already feeling much better than it had been when he first woke up, and he was grateful for that, even if his arm did hurt from the shot. However, Naruto just wanted to get out of the damn hospital. "Come on Azumi. I'm all better. Please can I leave?" Naruto begged. Azumi sighed then said, "Fine Naruto, you can leave, but be careful, okay? Also, make sure you find something to cover that eye with, okay? We don't want you to walk around with a big hole in your head where your eye should be." Azumi laughed out, but then got totally serious again. "Just be careful, okay Naruto?" Naruto nodded, got up, walked out of his room, and out of the hospital. He walked down the street looking around, and was amazed to find he could make out what everything was with only the outlines of them. Like, he could tell what stores were what, and what street he was on. Because of this he actually started walking with his good eye closed just to test out his new eye, and so he kept walking around until he eventually got to his apartment. And as he approached it, he started to think to himself, "I guess I actually should put something over my eye, cause I'm pretty sure people would think it's weird if I just got a new eye that was exactly like my old one. Well, I guess I could just use like some cloth bandages to put over my eye or something and pull it up if I need to use my eye," Naruto thought to himself, as he walked into his apartment. He then began looking for a piece of cloth or something to wrap around his head and cover his eye. He soon found some cloth bandages in a cupboard. They were black, which Naruto didn't mind seeing, as he actually liked the color. He gently took off his bandages in front of a mirror. What he saw was that he indeed did have an eye that looked no different from his other one. What shocked him the most though was that there was no scar, or anything to show that he had got attacked. It was just as his face was before the brutal attack. Wow, he thought Kyuubi did a really good job at covering this up. But I still can't walk around without the bandages on just because the people who know about what happened would get suspicious. Naruto decided he would try to talk to Kyuubi since he had nothing better to do, so he closed his eyes and started trying to go back into the sewer that was his mind, and when he opened his eyes, he was standing in front of the giant gate once again. "Hey Kit! What do you want?" the Kyuubi asked, curious, but excited to have someone to talk to. "Nothing really, I just wanted to talk to you for a bit, ask you some questions that I have on my mind," Naruto stated calmly. "Okay Kit, so what questions do you got for me?" the giant fox asked. "Well, I was wondering how I use my Kekkei Genkai. Since, being able to use your Kekkei Genkai is a huge part of having one. Well, you can use your Kekkei Genkai by forcing your chakra into whatever part of your body you see the Kekkei Genkai being used from. Like for the Sharingan it would have to be focused into your eyes, and for other Kekkei Genkais you just do it for other parts of the body," the Kyuubi explained to Naruto, who was really excited now. "Really? So I could get, like the Sharingan or the Byakugan by focusing chakra into my eyes when I see someone using it?" To this, the Kyuubi just nodded and said, "Actually Kit, you could get both if you wanted to." Now this made Naruto really excited. "Wow! That's so awesome, I have the best Kekkei Genkai ever." The Kyuubi just smirked at the excited little boy in front of him. The boy then stopped, and turned to the Kyuubi as he had another question it seemed. "Yes?" the Kyuubi asked, knowing Naruto was going to ask something. "How come I don't have a scar or anything from the attack? I mean, I know that my face got sliced bad, because I wouldn't have lost my eye if that wouldn't have happened, and I'm guessing something that bad would leave a scar, right?" the confused blonde-haired boy asked. The Kyuubi just chuckled slightly. "That would be my doing, Kit, because I'm inside of you I heal you a lot faster than you would if you didn't have me, and that also includes making scars go away, or not appearing at all I guess I should say." The Kyuubi responded, looking sort of tired. Naruto just nodded and started to try to think of another question, but nothing came to him. So he just looked at the Kyuubi, said a quick by which received a by kit from the Kyuubi. Then as Naruto left his mind, he started to think to himself, I guess I should head over to the Uchiha compound and copy the Sharingan. I really want to try it out. Then after that I guess I could head over to the Hyuga estate and get a copy of the Byakugan as well. Naruto thought to himself, smirking, because he would be able to match the mighty Sasuke Uchiha, since he would have the exact same thing that gave him an edge before he even had it. Naruto began to walk over towards the Uchiha compound, and once again he started to think to himself, I think I'm going to have to sneak to get the Byakugan, cause if I remember right they're really strict about showing non-clan members the Byakugan. Naruto finished his thought, and started to try to think of ways to be able to see the Byakugan without being noticed. He kept walking lost in his own thoughts until he bumped into something. He looked up and noticed that it was Sasuke's father Fugaku Uchiha. Naruto then decided he would take this chance to get the Sharingan. Mr. Uchiha, can I have a minute? Naruto asked, looking hopefully at him. Fugaku took a minute to look over Naruto, and noticed his eye had some bandages over it, which made him wonder. But he smiled nonetheless. Sure, what do you need? He asked, a smile still on his face. Naruto thought for a moment and responded, I'm doing a report for school about Kekkei Genkais and I need some information about them. Can you help me please? Naruto asked politely. Yes sure, no problem bud, but can you answer something for me first? He asked. Naruto just nodded. What do you have under those bandages? Or are they just for show? I just want to make sure that you don't have something that will take my Sharingan from me when I show it to you. Fugaku said jokingly. Naruto's eyes however were instantly turned downcast as he said, in a low voice full of hate, someone attacked me and it cost me my eye. Fugaku instantly regretted asking Naruto this question, as he felt very bad for doing so. I'm sorry for bringing up such a painful memory. Fugaku said sympathetically. It's okay, don't worry about it. People are going to be asking me all the time, so I have to get used to telling them I guess. Naruto responded, with a hint of sadness still present in his voice. Fugaku quickly tried to change the subject. So you wanted to see the Sharingan, right? To this Naruto just nodded. Fugaku smiled, and activated his Sharingan as Naruto stared at it with amazement. This, Fugaku began, is the Sharingan. He finished, his voice full of pride. Once the Sharingan was activated, Naruto pushed all of his chakra into his eyes, which didn't go unnoticed by Fugaku as he felt the rise in chakra. You know you can't get the Sharingan, don't you? It's a Kekkei Genkai, and as you learn they can't be copied or learned, Fugaku said to the boy who was fiercely pushing chakra into his eyes. Fugaku just watched on until Naruto spoke. I know you can't, but that doesn't mean you can't try, right? Naruto was sweating like crazy, and his eyes were starting to droop as everything was slowly turning black, until he finally gave out, and fell to the ground unconscious. Fugaku smiled at the boy lying on the ground in front of him. He sure has some determination, I'll give him that. And with that, he picked Naruto up, and took him to the Konoha hospital. Naruto awoke to the thing he hated seeing the most. That damn white ceiling, which Naruto had learned, meant he was in the hospital. Damn, he thought to himself, I overdid it I guess. But hopefully I won't have to stay very long since I was just suffering from chakra depletion. Naruto slowly sat up and looked around. He was sore all over, and started to stretch when it dawned on him the Sharingan. He screamed out loud by accident only to have Azumi rush in, and almost break the door down doing so. What's wrong, Naruto? She yelled, then realized that everything was fine, and calmed down rather quickly. Nothing, I'm fine. Naruto responded. Azumi walked over to Naruto, and took a seat on his bed and looked him in the eyes. And yes, I said eyes. Then Naruto slowly reached his hand up and felt where the bandages should have been, but there was no sign of them as he touched his new eye. Naruto was speechless, he didn't know what to do. Azumi knew everything now. Naruto, she began softly, how do you have your eye back? Naruto knew the question was coming, but still had to think of an answer. It's fake, it just looks real. Naruto said, trying to pull off the lie, hoping she would buy it, but he could tell she didn't. Naruto, I did tests on your eye and it's real now, tell me how you got it. Azumi was totally serious now. Naruto started to panic once again. He didn't want to lose one of the few people who he was close to, and who actually cared for him. He frantically tried to think of an answer for the question, and the worry and fear were evident on his face. Azumi knew the reason now, and she figured out why he was panicking so much. Naruto, she said softly, and Naruto looked up slowly, fear clear in his eyes. You don't have to worry, Naruto, I don't hate you. I know about the Kyuubi, and I don't think you're the demon. I know you're Naruto Uzumaki, and you're just like everyone else. So don't be afraid to tell me what happened. The look on Naruto's face was something new to Azumi. It was an actual smile, a genuine smile. It wasn't like all of those other fake smiles that the boy used all the time. No, this one was 100% real. Naruto didn't know what to say. He saw his vision start to blur with the tears that were starting to come into his eyes. Naruto closed his eyes as tears started to roll down his face, as he actually felt loved for the first time in his life by someone other than the Hokage. Then Naruto's eyes shot open from shock, when he felt contact with something, and what he saw stunned him. Azumi was hugging him. At first Naruto didn't know what to do. This was the first time Naruto had been hugged by anyone before, but after a couple of seconds he just mimicked what Azumi was doing, and hugged her back. After a while of silence, and they both just sat there hugging each other, Naruto had calmed down, and was ready to talk. Okay, Naruto said in a voice that was still unsure of what he was doing, but was going to go on anyway. After I lost consciousness from the attack I met with Kyubi. He told me everything, like where we were, why he was there, and so on and so forth, but a few things I put together on my own, like the reason why the villagers hated me so much, and why all the beatings occurred. So then after that, he talked about how all Jinchuriki can receive a gift from their bijou if their bijou will allow them to receive it. Kyubi said I needed his gift, so he gave me a choice at what I wanted, and after I chose he gave me a new eye even though I can't see through it. I can see outlines and stuff from it though, so it's better than nothing. Naruto finished with a deep breath. It took a bit for all the information to get through to Azumi, but after she got all the information clear in her mind, she had some questions for Naruto. Okay, she took a second to think about the question. Where did you guys end up talking? My mind, Naruto said, simply earning a nod and an okay from Azumi. Then next question came, what was your gift? Now this caused Naruto to smile big. I can copy Keki Eigenkai's, Naruto said in a whisper only loud enough for Azumi to hear it. Now that caused Azumi to double take what she just heard. What? Was Azumi's yelled response, and to which Naruto just smiled and nodded his head to reassure that Azumi had heard him right. Then without saying anything else, Naruto got up still with a huge grin on his face, and walked out determined to try out his new Sharingan, leaving a, still very, shocked Azumi behind him. However, before he was out of earshot, he heard a faint voice that belonged to Azumi say softly, but that can't be possible. Naruto walked outside, and went into the woods around Konoha to try out his Sharingan. He walked for a while until he found a clearing and then focused chakra into his eyes, but nothing happened. Huh! Why can't I use the Sharingan? Naruto thought to himself, and he kept trying by pumping more chakra into his eyes until he was getting fatigued. He knew the result if he kept doing what he was, so he decided he would go talk to Kyubi about it. Therefore, Naruto sat down and closed his eyes only to open them in front of the gate again. Yo! The Kyubi said in a bored tone. Naruto started to ask him why he couldn't use the Sharingan, but was cut off by the Kyubi. You can't use it, because you need to be in a life or death situation to awaken it. However, I can help you with that. If you use my chakra, you should be able to activate the Sharingan without the whole life or death situation thing. Naruto smiled brightly. Thanks, Kyubi. So how do I use your chakra? Well, now that I'm allowing you to use my chakra, all you have to do is tap into my chakra. And you should be able to do just that if you just do what you do when you come and talk to me except for target my chakra. Okay, I'll try. Naruto responded, and was instantly out of his mind and in the forest again. Naruto closed his eyes, and began to try to locate the Kyubi's chakra. Then he saw something that looked like a red flame, and tried to connect with it. And when he opened his eyes he was engulfed by a red flame that was actually Kyubi's chakra. Naruto smirked, and then started charging said chakra into his eyes, and reopened them, to see nothing different. Naruto was getting angry, and he was really confused now. I thought Kyubi said that would work. Naruto thought to himself only to be snapped out of his thoughts by a sound nearby. Naruto quickly turned around, and saw a rabbit run out from behind a bush, except something was different. The rabbit looked like it was moving in slow motion. Then it hit Naruto. It worked! He screamed at the top of his lungs, thrilled that he now possessed the Sharingan, the most prized Kekkai Genkai to date. After Naruto calmed down a bit, worked out a little, and messed around with his newly acquired Sharingan for a short period of time, Naruto began to think to himself about how he was going to get the Byakugan. He deactivated his Sharingan, sat down, and thought for a while until an idea came to him. Naruto smirked, and started walking back to his apartment. He would need to wait until tomorrow to put his plan into action. At the Konoha hospital, Azumi was walking down the hallways of the hospital checking on patients. It was after visiting hours, so no one was allowed to be in the hospital rooms who wasn't a patient, or work there. She was looking in all the rooms, checking to make sure the patients were alright. Then out of nowhere, she heard something hit the wall behind her. She quickly turned around, and walked over to where the object had hit the wall. She found that it was a very dull kunai. Azumi looked over at the room, and checked her list of patients to see who was in the room, and see what they were currently in for. When she got to the room number, which was 3481, there were no patients currently occupying that room at the time. Therefore, Azumi decided to go have a look in the room, to see if anyone was in there. She slowly walked into the room, and tried the lights, but they wouldn't work. She then froze instantly when something landed in front of her. She walked over slowly, and picked it up, just as slowly. It turned out to be another kunai, but this one was not dull at all. Actually, it was the exact opposite of the last one. This one was extremely sharp. Then in an instant there was metal pressed against her neck, and a hand covered her mouth. She would have struggled, but she was way too scared to even move now, though she did use her peripherals and saw that this man was wearing an umbu mask of what she made out to be a wolf with one eye. The umbu member then started to speak. See, this is what befriending a demon gets you, girl. He whispered into her ear. By this time, Azumi was as Naruto was before. She was hysterical and crying heavily. The only sound that came out were muffled screams, but those weren't even loud enough to leave the room. The Umbu member once again started to speak in a low whisper. You know what? He thought for a second. I want to see how far that demon can fall. He killed my family and friends. Well, I'm going to take one of his friends out of his life. By this time, Azumi knew she couldn't get away from the Umbu member, so she just sat there sobbing her eyes out as the Umbu member inched the kunai closer and closer to her neck. Then in one swift motion, it was over. There was blood splattered all over the floor, and Azumi lay on the floor, her eyes wide open with blood rushing out of her neck. The Umbu member started laughing hysterically as he jumped out of the nearest window and into the night. At the Hokage tower, Sandaime was sitting at his desk doing the endless supply of paperwork you get for some reason when you're Hokage. I don't know why I retook this job. Sandaime sighed, as he remembered the times when he could just sit at his house and relax instead of sitting at a desk and doing mountains of paperwork that never got any smaller no matter how much of it you did. Then an Umbu appeared behind Sandaime. Yes, Kakashi? Sandaime asked without even turning around. Hokage-sama, we have a situation. A nurse was found dead in a hospital room. The room didn't belong to anybody, fortunately, but the nurse's throat was slit, and there's blood all over the room. That's all I have to report at the moment. Thank you, Kakashi, Sandaime said, while rubbing his temples. You may leave. Kakashi nodded and responded, Hokage-sama. Before vanishing, Sandaime sighed, and went back to work knowing he was going to be for a long night. Naruto's apartment. For some reason Naruto couldn't sleep at all. He had a really bad feeling that he just couldn't shake. Naruto sighed, got up, and decided he would go over and see Azumi. He would always go over to the hospital and talk to her if she was working, and he couldn't sleep. They would meet in a room and just talk until Naruto got tired and went back to his house. And that's exactly what he had in mind for this visit. So Naruto got up, wrapped his eye, jumped out the window, and started off towards the hospital. When Naruto arrived at the hospital, he was shocked to see all the Umbu around, and the fact that people were going every which way. After a while of waiting and there being no sign of Azumi, Naruto decided that he would go look for her. Something came to Naruto's mind. He didn't look like he was a patient. He had to get some clothes so he could walk around freely without being kicked out. And it just so happened that the room Azumi and Naruto would meet in was a storage room. So Naruto simply just grabbed some clothes. The hospital clothes were simply a bluish-gray shirt with some gray sweats. So Naruto walked out of the closet and down the hall, passing many Umbu along with some doctors and nurses, which gave him hateful glares. Naruto just kept walking, and as another doctor walked past him he too glared at Naruto, and Naruto was sick of it now. If you want the demon to kill you, then keep looking at me, Naruto said with hate clear in his voice as he pulled out a kunai that Sandaime had gave him earlier that day for protection. The doctor just smirked and kept walking, that is until a kunai was implanted in the wall inches from his face. That stopped him dead in his tracks, and he slowly turned around to see a very pissed off Naruto standing there. The doctor figured even if the boy was only 6 at most, he would be something to deal with if he was that good with a kunai, which it appeared. The doctor then did the most sensible thing he could think of. He turned and ran down the hallway, stumbling along the way, and he even fell once. Naruto just walked over, got his kunai, and started walking down the hallway again. I wonder where Azumi is, Naruto asked himself, aloud, as he continued walking down the hallway until he turned the corner and saw all the Umbu around one room. And this of course piqued Naruto's curiosity, as he slowly walked over and stood behind the Umbu that for some reason didn't notice him. Maybe whatever was in the room was really important. As Naruto moved a little closer, he noticed the floor had a red line going down it, but it wasn't wet, so he didn't know what it was. However, as he got closer and closer, the trail got wider and wider until the room was visible. Naruto then looked up into the room, his eyes widened in shock, and he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Azumi was dead, lying right in front of him, her eyes facing the ceiling. Naruto took some steps back and fell, his eyes still wide in shock. The tears started to come to his eyes, and then were running down his cheeks. Why? 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 Why does this always happen to me? Everything I hold dear to me is destroyed. I can't live like this. I have to stop caring about other people. If I care about others, this is all that will come from it. From now on I won't love or have any feelings except hate towards others, with the exception of Ojaizen and Irika-sensei. Naruto finished his thought as he slowly stood up, only to be kicked in the back and to fall down again. Naruto was getting really pissed off over all of the shit he had been taking, and he was about to attack the Umbu who kicked him, when one stepped up and said, "Leave him alone before I kill you." Then the Umbu member looked at Naruto and motioned for him to leave, and at this Naruto got up and ran out of the room. While running, Naruto vowed he would never get pushed around again, and instead of running home, Naruto ran out into the forest to train. At the Hokage tower, I had to step in and even threaten to kill another member just so Naruto could leave. One voice said, "So it's that bad, is it? I hope this doesn't affect Naruto too badly. He's been through a lot in the last couple of days." Another voice said, "Yes, he has," was the response. "Well, thank you, Kakashi, you may leave, Hokage-sama," Kakashi said before leaving. Sandaime sighed. This is turning out worse than I could have imagined. The forest around Konoha. Naruto had been training non-stop ever since he left the hospital. On the way to the forest he had actually walked on his hands to get there, but when he got there, he went straight to work. Naruto had got so good with his accuracy that he could actually hit a target with a kunai from 100 yards away, and not hit anything except for the target. There was a problem that Naruto kept thinking about though. He didn't know any jutsu. He decided he would ask Sandaime later for some scrolls. It was about 3 in the morning, but Naruto decided he could do without sleep. He would train non-stop, only stopping to go to the academy, and to eat or drink. Today's the day I get the Byakugan, he thought to himself, and smirked. Today was going to be a good day for him. Naruto decided he would run laps around Konoha, and he decided to himself that about 20 would be good enough at the moment. So he took off around Konoha running full speed. At about 5:30 he finished his laps, and was sweating profusely, but he didn't take a break. Nope, he went right into doing push-ups and sit-ups. He did them in pairs of 50, thinking that it would push him harder and benefit him more. By the time Naruto had done 500 of each, it was 6 o'clock, and he decided he would practice with his Sharingan some. He forced some of the Kyuubi's chakra into his eyes, and the Sharingan was activated. He then started to run through the forest killing whatever he saw, and that included a couple rabbits, a possum, and a deer. Naruto walked back into the clearing, and then started working on his taijutsu skills by punching and kicking trees, at about 7 o'clock. After about an hour it was now 8 o'clock, and Naruto's hands were covered in blood, and though his feet weren't as bad it was close. He just shrugged it off, and started to walk to class, which was at 8:30. By the time Naruto got to the academy it was 8:25, so he walked in, and sat down resting his hands on the desk, leaving a decent-sized pool of blood, which was growing larger, there. This however didn't go unnoticed by most of the class, neither did his bandaged right eye. Naruto could feel their stares at him, and it was starting to piss him off. Is there something you want? Or do you just find pleasure in staring at me? 'Cause you're really starting to piss me off, Naruto asked, in a very cold and irritated tone without even turning his head. At this, the class froze. They never expected this from Naruto. If that would have been Sasuke, then it would have been no surprise. But no, this was Naruto, the kid who wouldn't take anything serious. This actually even got Sasuke's attention as he walked over and sat by Naruto. Dobe, he said, smirking, as that's how he addressed Naruto whenever they talked. However, this time Naruto didn't say anything back, he just sat there, and then got a sadist smile on his face, which freaked the hell out of Sasuke, and the rest of the class that was watching. Then Sasuke felt something against his throat. Don't think I won't kill you right now, you bastard, Naruto said through clenched teeth. Now Sasuke was freaking out. This was the last thing he expected Naruto to do. He thought he would yell at him and go back to normal, not pull a kunai and threaten to kill him. To break the tension, Iruka walked in the classroom, and was amazed by what he saw. Naruto had a kunai against the Uchiha's neck. Naruto had totally changed for the worst. Naruto! Iruka yelled, causing Naruto to look up at him, then release the Uchiha, and actually throw him down the steps. Now that made the fangirls so mad that they totally forgot what just happened. Naruto! They all yelled. Shut up, was Naruto's quick response. Then he let out a killer intent that was so strong it made Iruka quiver. Apologize to Sasuke-kun right now, one of the fangirls yelled at Naruto. Naruto smirked and took out a kunai, which made everybody's eyes go wide. I told you to shut up, he said, killer intent seeping into his voice as he threw the kunai at the girl, only to have it stopped by being embedded in Iruka's hand. This really confused Naruto. Iruka just saved one of his enemies. Why? Naruto screamed, startling everyone in the classroom. Iruka looked at Naruto sadly. He really did a huge turn for the worse, and was moving at deadly speeds in that direction. Because Iruka began, you're not allowed to attack your classmates. Them. Iruka froze before finishing that word, as his eyes went wide. He hadn't been thinking about what he was saying, and let one of his old names for Naruto almost come out. Of course, he didn't feel that way about Naruto now, but that wouldn't help anything as far as Naruto was going to think. Now Naruto was stunned. One of the people who was precious to him, and who he thought actually cared for him, had just revealed that he had the same feelings towards him as everyone else in Konoha did. Then a sad smile made its way to Naruto's face as he looked down at the ground, and tears began to form in the corners of his eyes, but he quickly wiped them away, not wanting anyone to see. I should have figured, Naruto began as Iruka's eyes widened even more. I should have never thought I was close to anyone at all. He laughed bitterly. Well, at least you don't have to see the demon anymore, Iruka-sensei, Naruto said, with one of his fake smiles as he walked out of the academy, and jumped off at high speeds, heading for the Hokage tower. Iruka was still in shock from what he had said, and what had just happened. He was also trying to think of a way to say sorry to Naruto, but he knew there was no way he could apologize for calling him a demon. He looked at his class, who had absolutely no idea what was going on, and dismissed them even though the class had just begun. Then he started making his way over to the Hokage tower. At the Hokage tower, Naruto had just arrived at the Hokage's office after what had happened at the academy, but didn't talk about it with Sandaime. He just came to get some stuff from the old man who he considered his grandfather. Hey Ojaizen, can I have some scrolls so I can learn some jutsu in my free time? I get bored, so I thought it would be a good idea to become a better ninja instead of doing nothing, you know? Naruto asked. Sandaime smiled at Naruto for his reasoning, nodded his head, pushed a button under his desk, and part of the wall shifted a little. Sandaime then got up and removed the part of the wall which had shifted, revealing a room filled with scrolls. This room has scrolls filled with basic jutsu that you can learn. Take as many as you like, and if you want a new scroll, come back, and I'll let you get more, but don't lose any of them, please. Naruto was filled with excitement as he ran into the room and began picking up as many scrolls as he could carry, then casually just walked back out. Sandaime took a blank scroll and sealed all the scrolls into it, then handed it back to Naruto. To unseal the scrolls, just wipe some blood over the seal on the scroll. Also, don't worry if someone takes the scroll, because only your blood can unseal this scroll. That shocked the blonde. He had never heard of something like that before. A seal only he could use, and then he thought of something that he had heard of, that would be useful if he could master. So he decided he would ask Sandaime about it. Emojaizen, I was wondering. Naruto stopped for a second to rethink this. Yes, Naruto? Go on, what is it? Naruto continued on. I was wondering, I read about a jutsu, and I was wondering if you could show me how to do it. So what was the jutsu? I'm pretty sure I can help you out with it, Sandaime said, smiling. Naruto smiled back and stated, it's the Kagebushin no Jutsu. Shadow clone technique. Sandaime's eyes widened with surprise. Yes, sure, Naruto, but I must say that wasn't what I was expecting you to ask for. Naruto laughed. Well, I'm full of surprises, Ojaizen. Sandaime just nodded slightly. Remember this though, Naruto. The Kagebushin no Jutsu is a forbidden technique. If you make too many clones, you could die from chakra exhaustion, so just be careful with it, okay? Naruto smiled and nodded in response. After Sandaime showed Naruto the basics of the Kagebushin no Jutsu, Naruto left with his scroll full of scrolls, which were full of jutsu, and the knowledge of a forbidden jutsu. Naruto was pretty happy with the outcome of his meeting with Sandaime. Naruto had something big in mind for the Kagebushin no Jutsu, and he was about to put that plan into action. At the Hokage Tower. Yes, Hokage-sama, every single one except for Uchiha Sasuke is dead. The Umbu member stated with concern in his voice. That's terrible, and also concerns me deeply. Sandaime stated, worry clear in his voice. Why is that, Hokage-sama? The Umbu asked, confused. Because if someone or even a group was able to kill off the Uchiha clan, then they're a huge problem. Then all of a sudden, another Umbu appeared at the window. Yes, Kakashi? Sandaime asked. We figured out who the killer of the Uchiha clan was. Kakashi stated calmly. Killer? So that means it was only one person, then that's a big problem. But anyway, continued Kakashi. Kakashi nodded, then continued on. The killer was Uchiha Itachi. The Sandaime smiled sadly. I should have figured it was him. Very well, thank you, Kakashi, you may take your leave. Kakashi bowed, and vanished along with the other Umbu. But just as they left, Iruka walked inside the office. Yes, Iruka, what can I do for you? Sandaime asked tiredly. Iruka hesitated to tell Sandaime what he had done, but after a short while, the whole story was out, and Sandaime was very concerned about what was going to happen with Naruto. Sandaime sighed and leaned back in his chair. This is going to be a problem. Naruto won't trust anybody anymore. I think I'm the only one he thinks actually cares for him, even if it isn't far from the truth. Iruka stayed quiet, while he seemed to find the ground very interesting. He knew he was the reason Naruto would never trust anyone. Iruka, don't feel bad. I'm sure in time Naruto will get over this. We just need to give him some time. Sandaime said in a cheerful tone. I hope so, was Iruka's quick response. Somewhere in Konoha, Naruto had been walking for a while now, and he kept thinking over his plan, and any way he thought of it, it would work out. But that didn't mean they were simple. As Naruto slowly got closer to the Hyuga estate, he said Kagebushin no Jutsu. This created about 20 Naruto clones except for one simple thing. None of them looked like Naruto, they all looked different. Yeah. It worked! Naruto shouted. He had been hoping that he could make his clones into anything he wanted in one go, and after some thinking through it, he figured a way he could do it. Just think about each clone separately, and design them however you want, then create them all, and it had worked as he hoped it would. Naruto slowly inched closer as his clones all separated until they saw who they were looking for. Neji Hyuga. One of the clones jumped out and ran at Neji, the whole time charging chakra into his eyes. When Neji saw this, he activated his Byakugan, and got in a defensive stance as 5 more clones all jumped out, all focusing chakra into their eyes, as one of the clones just waited in a tree doing the same. After a bit, all the clones were out, and circling Neji until suddenly they all vanished, and the clone in the tree jumped down. Thanks, that's all that I needed to see, he said smirking, and then vanished, leaving a very confused Neji. As soon as all the clones vanished, it hit Naruto hard. All the chakra the clones had used came back and affected Naruto, but all he did was smirk as he focused chakra into his eyes, and then the Byakugan appeared, as did veins around his eyes. Then after he deactivated it, he fell over unconscious. In the forest surrounding Konoha, Naruto slowly sat up and had no idea where he was. That was until all of his memories started coming back to him, that is. He smirked, activated, and then deactivated his Byakugan. He stood up and decided while he was out in the forest already, why not train? He started off with 30 laps around Konoha this time, and that took about 2.5 hours, which landed him at 4:30 p.m. since he started at around 2 p.m. After taking a little breather, Naruto pulled out the scroll that Sandaime had given him, bit his finger, and wiped it across the seal, causing all the scrolls to appear and fall into his hands. Setting them all down on a flat rock, he took one and opened it up. He began looking at it, and saw that it was all Katan Jutsus. Naruto thought back, and remembered that the Uchiha clan specialized in Katan Jutsu, so Naruto figured he would get some to match that of the great Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto studied the scroll for a good 3 hours and got the hang of a lot of the jutsu, even the Katan, Gakaki no Jutsu, Fire Element, Grand Fireball Technique, which was supposed to be one of the great jutsu known by the Uchihas, along with the Kasai Bushin no Jutsu, Fire Clone. Naruto was really fatigued, but decided he had to keep going, so he made about 20 clones using Kage Bushin no Jutsu and opened up another scroll that had the kanji Force Way done on it, which Naruto thought would be good so he could cancel out Fire Jutsu. Okay guys, each of you pick a jutsu, and go work on it. But don't pick the same jutsu, okay? Don't stop until I say you can or you have perfected the jutsu, but it will most likely be the former. Okay. They all shouted in unison and ran off to get to work. After about another hour all, the clones were gone, which as Naruto had assumed, was because he dismissed them, not because they had perfected the jutsu, but that had the basic concepts, and were able to do them to some extent. Something else that the blonde noticed was that he had a major headache. Damn it! The boy screamed, why can't I do this without a damn headache? Naruto started walking back to his apartment, and started to think to himself while rubbing his temples, hoping to relieve himself of the throbbing pain in his head. Okay, so I got about 20 Katan Jutsu down, and about 15 Suiton, including the Mizubushin no Jutsu, Water Clone, which helps a lot. I should be in pretty good shape if I keep doing this every day. I would be above all the Genin by the time I become one. Naruto smiled to himself, this was going great. Naruto just figured that things would keep getting better if he only cared about himself, because, as of right now it sure as hell seemed that way. Naruto got back to his apartment soon after he left the forest, simply got into bed, and went to sleep expecting a big day tomorrow, while at the same time relieving him of his unbelievable headache. 6:30 in the morning, Naruto's alarm clock started to go off, with an annoyingly loud beep, and instantly was impaled by a kunai, which was thrown courtesy of Naruto. He didn't mean to do it though, because that meant he would have to get a new one, which of course was not very enjoyable since pretty much all the store owners hated him, and on top of that, I mean seriously, who the hell goes out to buy alarm clocks? It just so happened that Naruto had instinctively good reactions, and said reactions were the reason why Naruto's alarm clock was currently lying on the ground, with a little bit of smoke rising from it. Naruto slowly got up, and went out to train. The blonde decided before class started he would do a quick lesson. He made 20 shadow clones, and got out another scroll that had Futon on it, which like the others was neatly printed in kanji. Naruto knew that said kanji meant the scroll was filled with wind jutsu. Naruto did what he had planned to be his everyday routine, and told the clones to pick one jutsu, and practice it. After about 25 minutes, the headache came, and Naruto had the knowledge of all the clones, which meant knowledge of all the jutsu. Once again Naruto learned the elemental clone jutsu for wind, which was called the Kaze Bushin no Jutsu, Wine Clone. Also he learned a couple of other things like the Repushu, Gale Wind Palm, along with the Fusogen, Dust Wind. At this time it was about 7 o'clock in the morning, which meant Naruto had about an hour and a half before class started. He was really dreading today's class, since he now knew the truth about Irika. Naruto just decided on looking over another scroll by himself for the remainder of the time. He picked one up with no noticeable kanji on it, and opened it to see a heading that said in bold letters, Training Exercises and Ninja Basics. Naruto wasn't very interested in this scroll until something caught his attention. Water walking was all that it said, but that was enough to get Naruto hooked to this scroll. He started to read about how to walk on water, and saw that the very first thing it said was that he needed to master how to tree climb. Naruto's sweat dropped instantly while thinking, how does tree climbing help at all? Plus, I mean it's not even hard to do. I was tree climbing when I was 5. Naruto decided he would look over the section though, just because the scroll told him to. What Naruto read shocked him. Without hands? Naruto shouted in his head, there's no way that's possible. Naruto was definitely interested in this now. He read through the section, and saw that all you had to do was focus your chakra into your feet, and walk/run up the tree. He figured there's no way it could be that complicated. I mean, he did charge chakra into his eyes to get the Sharingan and the Byakugan. How much different could doing it to your feet be? Naruto walked up to a tree, started pumping as much chakra as he could muster into his feet, and without a second thought, started to run up the tree only for the tree to pretty much explode and throw him off. Huh! What the hell just happened? Naruto, still very confused, walked up to the tree and tried again, but this time he forced almost no chakra at all into the bottom of his feet. He began to run up the tree but slipped and fell. He landed on his feet, and looked up at the tree, with a newly formed smile on his face. Oh, I see now. If you put too much chakra into your feet, it will blow your feet off of the tree, but if you have too little you'll slip off, so that's why this is a training exercise. This trains chakra control. Naruto was really happy now, for he knew all the cool things you could do with good chakra control, and he wanted to be able to do said things. Naruto smirked, did his, now favorite, jutsu, and called out, Kage Bushin no Jutsu. About 10 Narutos went over to a tree and started trying to run up them as the real Naruto joined. Naruto was figuring out more and more things about his, now, favorite jutsu. He had just learned that if he told the clone what to do before he made it, then it would know without being told, and that could come to great use in future fights. After about an hour of repeatedly trying to run up the tree, every single clone vanished, and then like a few times before all of the memories rushed to Naruto's head. He was slowly getting used to it though, as his head didn't hurt near as much as it did before. Naruto sat up slowly, unbelievably tired from all the working, but then smiled as he now was better at the tree climbing exercise. It was now 8 a.m., so Naruto had 30 minutes to get to his class. Damn, I'm going to be unbeatable. The Kage Bushin no Jutsu kicks so much ass. Learning various jutsu in a couple of hours, doing chakra control exercises. Man, this has got to be the greatest jutsu ever made. Naruto forced himself to walk to the academy even though he was on the verge of passing out, and then something caught his attention. Naruto could smell the sweat and slight smell of body odor radiating off of his highly labored body. I can't go to the academy like this. Then Naruto got an idea, and made a hand seal. A clone instantly popped into existence. Listen, I want you to go to the academy, and stay there until I get there. I have to go take a shower and stuff, so just hang there until I show up, okay? The clone nodded and ran off. Naruto turned, with a grin on his face, and walked back to his apartment. On the way back, Naruto scolded himself for not using his common sense, and telling the clone what to do before it came into existence. He wanted himself to be so used to it that he wouldn't have to think about doing it, which in turn would be amazing for tight situations, because no one would know what was coming. When Naruto arrived at his apartment, he quickly took his clothes off, jumped in his bathtub for a quick shower, bathed, dried himself off, and put some new clothes on, which included a black and red shirt accompanied with a normal pair of jeans, which were very unusual for a ninja to wear. But the blonde just told himself that he's not even doing missions yet, so there's no point in dressing like he was. Naruto decided he had enough time to make himself some ramen, so he got to work on that. After about 3 minutes, the ramen was ready, and Naruto pretty much just drank it. Then Naruto decided he was good to go, so after he put on his sandals he headed out, and towards the academy. When Naruto walked in, the clone instantly vanished in an explosion of smoke. Iruka was stunned that Naruto, who had never been able to make anything close to a clone, could make one, and a very advanced one at that. Everyone else seemed shocked by it also, but not that much, seeing as they didn't realize just how advanced the clone was, and just took it as a slightly different version of a regular Bushin. No one said anything, however, as Naruto sat down, and kept to himself. Everyone in the room had been whispering about the Uchiha massacre until Naruto walked in the room, then for some reason it all stopped. Naruto also noticed that Sasuke was a little more uptight than he had previously been, but that was expected from someone whose entire clan just got killed. Naruto just shrugged it off. He didn't care about Sasuke, he barely cared about him before, except for the fact that he hated him, and would yell at him every day. But now Naruto knew he could kick Sasuke's ass around the block and back, so he couldn't care less about the last Uchiha, which was apparently his new name. All the Sasuke fangirls were trying to talk to him, but since Naruto was sitting in the only seat next to Sasuke, they couldn't, and that was starting to annoy them. But it was annoying Naruto even more. Sasuke-kun, are you alright? I must be hard losing all those people, but don't worry, I'm here for you, always. Sakura asked/stated, then blushed at the thought of Sasuke opening up to her. Then she actually pushed Naruto down the stairs, which ended with him hitting the floor hard, and which in turn made everyone's eyes open in shock. Then, as Sakura was still lost in her obsession rant about Sasuke, she didn't notice when Naruto had pulled a kunai. She did, however, notice when that same kunai penetrated the wall inches from his face. Now, this made Sakura along with the rest of the class freeze big time, and Sakura slowly turned her head to face Naruto, eyes wide. Listen here. You can rant on all you want about prick boy over there, but never, and I mean never, touch me. Then Naruto swiftly took out some shuriken, which in turn shook Iruka, who had been in shock at the moment, back to his senses as he prepared to stop Naruto. As an example for the rest of you, Sakura is going to die. Just from the blonde's voice, everyone could tell that he wasn't joking in the slightest. Iruka knew that he had to end this before anything got out of control, and attempted to tackle him only for Naruto to poof away at the contact. A clone! Iruka thought in shock. He hadn't seen Naruto make any seals or even heard him call out the technique. What was a real shocker to Iruka was when he felt something hit the back of his head, with amazing force. The academy teacher didn't have time to react as his face met the concrete floor below, which in turn caused Iruka's mouth to start bleeding heavily. Iruka slowly stood up to see Naruto simply standing in front of him, his head downcast. You couldn't see his eyes at all, because of his blonde hair covering them. Naruto, Iruka said softly, almost in a whisper. Then he froze as he noticed something. Naruto was crying. Iruka could tell by the wet spots on the floor beneath Naruto's head, and the way his shoulders slightly shook. Naruto's head shot up as his eyes were now blood red. Why did you do this to me? Naruto screamed, in a somewhat demonic voice, but you could still faintly hear the blonde's normal voice. I thought of you as a father, and you didn't care at all. You're just the same as everyone else. Iruka was now being affected by the blonde's words as he could tell that tears were coming. The slight glaze his vision acquired, and his slightly blurred vision gave it away. What have I done to you, Naruto? Outside the academy? This is bad, Naruto's losing it. Kakashi thought to himself as he saw Naruto crying after he had assaulted Iruka, and then heard him scream, with a demonic tint in his voice, at the young Chunin. Kakashi quickly made his way into the academy, and hid in the shadows as not to be seen by anybody. Just then, Naruto appeared behind Iruka, but it wasn't only his eyes that were changed, his canines were fangs now, while his fingernails were claws. Naruto was holding a kunai, but was still visibly crying. Iruka didn't have time to respond as Naruto brought the kunai down. Iruka braced for the slice, but it never came. Iruka looked back to see Kakashi with a knocked-out Naruto slung over his shoulder. Don't worry, I knocked out the rest of the class before they saw him with fangs and such, so they won't realize what just happened. As for Naruto, I'm going to take him to the Hokage's office. I don't know what to do about him anymore. Maybe Hokage-sama will know what to do with him, Kakashi stated, then leaped out of the window, and with blinding speeds, took off towards the Hokage tower. Iruka sat there for a bit thinking about how all of this was his fault. Naruto was already heading in the wrong direction since the whole hospital incident, and all he did was speed up the process. Iruka noticed that his students were coming around. In a matter of seconds, Iruka had wiped the tears out of his eyes, and also drank some water to get rid of the blood flowing from his mouth. He sat in his chair with a smile on his face as all the students slowly pushed themselves up from the desk, and looked around, before turning their attention to Iruka. Iruka-sensei, what happened? Kiba asked the question that everybody was wondering. Iruka laughed and simply said, sorry guys, I just thought I would show you an example of genjutsu by putting you all to sleep with one. Then he noticed a worried look come to almost every single one of their faces. Iruka then noticed that Sakura was about to talk, so he turned his full attention on her. Iruka-sensei, what happened to Naruto? He didn't hurt you too badly, did he? Iruka's eyes widened, but they returned back to normal before any of the students could notice. After some quick thinking, Iruka chuckled. Sorry, I guess I shouldn't have done that. Everyone raised an eyebrow at Iruka, clearly confused as to what he was talking about, causing Iruka to let out a slight chuckle, and inwardly sighed in relief, because his plan seemed to be working. Actually, Sakura, that didn't happen. Everyone's eyes widened as the confused look came back, before Kiba stood up. What do you mean it didn't happen, Iruka-sensei? We watched him attack you. Iruka scratched the back of his head sheepishly. Actually, you were in the genjutsu when you saw that. I decided to use Naruto as an example simply because he wasn't here, and well, if I would have used anyone in this room, that would have made two of that person, which would let you know instantly that it was a genjutsu, you understand? The whole class nodded before Sakura spoke up again, a hint of fear in her voice. So Naruto never attacked me? Iruka once again just scratched the back of his head sheepishly, but this time throwing in a chuckle. I knew I shouldn't have done that, but to answer your question, Sakura, no, Naruto never came to class at all today, so obviously there is no way he could have attacked you. Iruka, once again, mentally sighed in relief, as the entire class seemed to believe his lie. At the Hokage tower, Kakashi had quickly made his way to the Hokage tower. He was still carrying Naruto over his shoulder as he walked into the building. He simply nodded at the ninja that were walking around the building, and walked up to the Hokage's office, knocking at the door. Come in, was the response from the Hokage. Sandaime looked up and saw Naruto's limp body hanging over Kakashi's shoulder. What happened, Kakashi? Naruto went berserk on Iruka. When he tried to stop him from killing Sakura Haruno, Kakashi said as if he was reporting a mission. I see. Was all Sandaime said back then. You may leave now, Kakashi, just leave Naruto here please, I wish to talk with him about this situation. Kakashi just nodded, set Naruto down on the Hokage's desk, and then vanished. Sandaime just sat there looking at Naruto, and then started thinking about what exactly to do with the boy. He was thinking of making a jutsu so Naruto would forget his memories, but that would be cruel, because even if Naruto did have a bad past, he deserved to know about it. He also thought about giving Naruto a private teacher, but that wouldn't do either because no one except for probably Kakashi would teach Naruto, and he was the Umbu captain, so that couldn't happen unless he left Umbu. Sandaime sighed and came to his decision on what to do with Naruto. Sandaime was snapped out of his thoughts as Naruto slowly sat up and looked around, then at Sandaime. Hey Ojizen. What am I doing here? Naruto asked, clearly confused. Sandaime smiled at Naruto and said, well, I brought you here, but you fell asleep on me when I got you from the academy. Naruto looked shocked. He didn't remember any of that. All he remembered was Iruka attacking him. Well, in the boy's head at least, then it was all just a blur. Naruto didn't say anything though, just because this was coming from the one person he could trust in this village. Naruto, listen, I'm going to take you out of the academy. Sandaime was cut off by Naruto. Wait, Ojizen. I want to be a ninja. I can't leave the academy no matter how much I despise it. Naruto commented, and to this Sandaime just sighed. Naruto, listen, you didn't let me finish. I'm taking you out of the academy, but you will still become a ninja, and a very strong one I believe. But what you will have to do is train yourself so when the time comes you will go back and take the Genin exam, and if you pass then, you're a Genin. Got it? Sandame asked to Naruto. Wait, so I don't have to see Iruka-sensei or any of the class again, do I? Naruto asked, clearly shocked, but happy nonetheless. No, Sandame sadly stated. He was very unhappy by the fact that Naruto was so joyous about not seeing his class or teacher anymore. Naruto exploded, to say the least. He instantly ran over and hugged the old man very tightly, all while saying repeatedly, "Thank you so much, Ojaizen." Sandame smiled sadly, but it was a smile nonetheless, at the way Naruto was acting. Then Sandame waited until Naruto calmed down to start talking again. "Okay Naruto, now this is going to be my gift to you." At this Naruto looked confused as Sandame continued. "Okay Naruto, the scrolls that you took from me a while ago, once you're done with those, and only when you're done with those I want you to come back and talk to me." And also Sandame stopped for a second, and got something from his desk, which was revealed to be weights in the form of wristband. The thing that confused Naruto however was that they were clear, and every wristband weight Naruto had ever seen had a distinct color, which in turn verified the weight. Still, Naruto got excited at the thought of getting faster. Since Naruto had lost his eye he had started reading lots of books about various ninja things, and that's how he knew so much about said things. "Okay Naruto, as you can tell these are weights, but not just any weights, these are chakra weights." At this Naruto looked more confused than he previously did. Sandame chuckled and continued to explain. "When you add chakra to these weights they get heavier, so you don't have to add more weights or anything. These are very expensive Naruto, and they are also my gift to you." Sandame smiled at Naruto who was in shock at what he had just received. Naruto looked up at Sandame. "Ojaizen, are you sure you want to give these to me? I mean you could give it to someone else." At this Sandame just laughed. "Naruto, there isn't anyone who I would want to have those more than you. Now take them. As I said, they're a gift from me." Naruto's face lit up as he hugged the old man once more, and then went to put the weights around his ankles, which caused Sandame to laugh. "Naruto, those are for your wrists, you know," Sandame stated. At this Naruto just nodded then stood up. "Yeah, I know, but the way I think of it, if I put them around my ankles then they will make me faster instead of making my hands faster. Eventually I'm going to get another pair for my wrists, but as of right now I think speed in the feet is more important." Sandame didn't know what to say. Naruto had to be a lot smarter than he looked. The way he handled himself, and the way he talked definitely proved that. Now however he was thinking a lot more logically the way Sandame saw him. In the end, however, Sandame just smiled and nodded in agreement with Naruto's statement. Naruto began to charge some chakra into his weights to feel his legs getting heavier just from the added weight, which was about 25 to each leg at the moment. Naruto looked down at the weights, and noticed that they had turned blood red. Naruto smirked at this, as he knew it was the Kyuubi's chakra that caused it. But what shocked Naruto more than the change of color was the fact that on top of the blood red bands a form began to shape, and after a couple of seconds it turned out to be a fox. Naruto once again just smirked as his two favorite colors, which were red and black, were now the color of his weights, seeing as the inscription of the fox was black, and he didn't even have to get them custom made. Naruto then began to walk around, and started to jump up and down getting used to the weight. After a couple minutes of adjusting Naruto turned to Sandame, and bit his thumb, pulled out a scroll, wiped the blood across it, and then caught some scrolls that fell into his hands. Naruto looked through some of the scrolls then took 3 out, and handed them to Sandame. "Here you go Ojaizen, I already know all of these jutsu so I don't need these scrolls anymore." Now to say Sandame was shocked was an understatement. There was no way Naruto could have possibly learned every single jutsu in each of these scrolls. There was about 20 jutsu in each. It just wasn't possible. "Naruto, I hate to go against your words, but how is it possible that you learned all of the jutsu in those scrolls in this short amount of time?" Naruto's face just acquired a huge grin, which stunned the already shocked Sandame. "I learn about 20 jutsu a day from the scrolls, so I learn about a scroll a day, and there was 3 scrolls and I got the scrolls 3 days ago, it makes sense." "Yes, but how do you learn the jutsu so fast?" Sandame asked, still very confused. "Kagebushin no jutsu," Naruto said simply, which made Sandame's eyes go wide. There is no possible way Naruto learned the secret of the Kagebushin no jutsu already. "That's amazing. Naruto, you truly are a genius, no doubt about it." "I see," Sandame said in a calm manner, which was totally different from his mindscape. Naruto smiled at Sandame, then turned and started to leave to do some training of his own, when Sandame put his hand on Naruto's shoulder. Naruto had frozen in place. The only thing that could be seen was his shaking. It was very visible, and it was quite heavily. Nara Sandame was cut off by an elbow in his face by none other than Naruto. Sandame was shocked until he looked at Naruto. Naruto was freaking out. He had a kunai out, and a bloody spot in his leg from where Sandame guessed he had stabbed himself to gain his mobility again. Sandame once again noticed something very shocking to him. Naruto wasn't even looking at him. Naruto must have been replaying the night he was attacked. Sandame assumed as he saw Naruto fall to the ground holding his hands over his right eye, or where his right eye used to be. Sandame immediately ran over to snap Naruto out of it, but when he got over, Naruto slowly sat up. Sandame looked at Naruto with worry etched on his face. Naruto just looked at Sandame and laughed. "Sorry about that," was all Naruto said as he stood up and jumped out of the window. Sandame didn't know what to do. Naruto went into frantic mode just by being touched on the shoulder. He had no idea what anything else would do to the young Jinchuriki. Sandaime decided that whoever ended up being Naruto's sensei would get a little talk from him about Naruto's condition. Somewhere in Konoha, Naruto jumped out of the Hokage tower window, then as soon as he hit the ground, took off, and had no idea where he was going. He hadn't planned on anything after he left. Honestly, he hadn't even planned to jump out the window. It just sort of happened. When Naruto stopped, he was in the forest outside of Konoha. Therefore, he decided he might as well train. A few years later, for the next couple of years Naruto pretty much lived in the forest surrounding Konoha. The only time he ever left was to get something from a store in Konoha, which was really just ramen from Ichiraku's. The only other exception was when Naruto went to exchange scrolls from the Hokage's office. To say Naruto knew a lot of jutsu was an understatement. He knew all the basic jutsus of all the elements, and he also knew how to do all the training exercises. His weights were up to 100 each, and Sandaime had given Naruto another pair for his birthday last year, and those he put around his wrists. Altogether, his gained weight was about 350 pounds, seeing as he set his wrist weights to 75 pounds each. Naruto could walk on water, climb trees with no hands, and could blow chakra out of his chakra pores without even thinking about it now, which was quite a feat for someone who wasn't even a genin yet. The one thing he still needed to learn, however, was the also-famous Juken, gentle fist, of the Hyuga. Naruto didn't rush this, however, because he had a feeling he would get to see it at some time in the future. Naruto usually wore either a black or a red shirt with black pants along with a kunai holster taped around his right leg. He still wore his cloth bandages over his eye, but to Naruto now it was as if his eye was never hurt in the first place. He didn't even mind everything being outlines now because it didn't affect him in any way whatsoever. Naruto was currently doing some chin-ups on a thick branch of a tree when an Umbu member appeared. "Are you Naruto Uzumaki?" the Umbu member asked, in a rather bored tone. "What the hell do you want?" a now 10-year-old Naruto asked, not bothering to hide his annoyance. "The Hokage wishes to see you." The Umbu responded in an equally annoyed tone. "Very well," Naruto simply said, and instantly the rather pissed-off Umbu was gone. 18, 19, 20. Naruto finished his chin-ups, and took off towards the Hokage tower. In the Hokage's office. I wonder if Naruto will agree to this or not. He's not one to talk to people that much anymore, Sandaime thought to himself, until he saw the office door open and Naruto walking in. The blonde smiled at Sandaime, then waited for him to speak. "Hello, Naruto. The reason I have called you here, and before you say anything hear me out, the reason I have called you here is because Iruka's class at the academy is going to be sparring today, and I was wondering if you would like to join them just for today. May I remind you?" At this, Naruto's eyes widened, and then a smirk made its way to Naruto's face. "Sure," Naruto answered, then walked out the door, heading for the academy. Sandaime sighed. He hoped this wouldn't turn out too badly. Naruto was really excited about being able to fight someone or something that wasn't a clone, and the fact that he got to do it in front of others was just a bonus. He wasn't going his full speed to get to the academy, however. He didn't want to show his full strength to anyone there. As Naruto got closer, he started to see the outlines of some people outside of the academy, which only excited him further. Outside of the ninja academy, Iruka had paired everyone up according to who he thought was closest, strength-wise, but there was a bit of a problem. No one could match up with Sasuke. Iruka tried to think of someone who wouldn't get completely destroyed by the boy, but he couldn't. Also along with that, came the inevitable fact that he had an odd number of students in his class, so he couldn't have had pairs without someone being left out anyway. Iruka sighed and decided he was going to simply pin Sasuke against two other students, and have them fight. That would be a tad more fair for Sasuke, and it would even out the groups. "Okay, Sasuke, I want you to." A certain blonde-haired 10-year-old appeared in a tree nearby, and caught the sight of Iruka. "Spar with Naruto." Iruka finished off with a smile. Iruka was really interested to see how much Naruto had improved. Iruka didn't think that the blonde would be able to beat the Uchiha, of course, but he wanted to see if he could at least put up a good fight against the prodigy. When Naruto heard whom he was going to fight, he couldn't help but smirk. He knew this was going to be very fun for him, but not so much for the Uchiha. Not that he cared or anything. Actually, he was glad that the Uchiha would get the living shit beat out of him, and the fact that it was by none other than himself was just a bonus. It would bring the prick down a few notches. Sasuke also got a smirk on his face when he heard who he was going to spar. He was thinking along the same lines as Naruto, except he saw himself winning this fight without even breaking a sweat, not Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke both walked to the center of the area that the class was sparring in. As the class stopped to watch this fight, most of the people that saw Naruto had to do a double take, just to make sure they weren't just seeing things. Naruto was very different from before. First off, he wore a red t-shirt and black baggy pants, not the black t-shirt and white shorts he had always wore. On top of that, he looked like he could easily kill without remorse, which scared many kids out of their minds. Naruto had totally changed. It's not like Sasuke didn't notice the changes. I mean, it was somewhat hard not to, but they didn't seem to faze him. Sasuke just kept in mind that he was fighting the dobe, and that calmed him down dramatically. Now Naruto, on the other hand, still had a smirk on his face. He was going to enjoy making Sasuke realize that he wasn't the greatest thing that ever happened to the world, and that people could beat him. Iruka was looking at Naruto and was stunned at what he saw. Naruto, yes, Naruto, the prankster, hadn't shown one emotion excluding the smirk that had been present since he arrived. Iruka was actually starting to wonder if Naruto might be able to take on the Uchiha just by his appearance. Naruto looked a lot stronger than he used to, and that was no lie, of course, but Sasuke didn't know that, and neither did anybody else, even if they thought it. Looks didn't mean anything in the world or shinobi, and everyone was excited to see if Naruto was actually as good as he looked. Iruka slowly walked out to the center, right between Naruto and Sasuke, who were both still smirking at the thought of making the other look like a dumbass by beating the hell out of them in front of the entire class. Go! Was all Iruka said as he jumped out of the way. Naruto stepped back and made a hand seal, then called out, Kage-bushin no jutsu. As 5 more Narutos appeared around the original. Now Iruka was in shock. He just couldn't comprehend that Naruto could do a forbidden jutsu with such ease. Yes, he had seen the clone before in the academy during Naruto's flip out, but Iruka just figured that was the only one he could make. How strong are you, Naruto? Was the only thing Iruka was able to think in all the shock. Sasuke was also in shock, but quickly composed himself, then noticed something that shocked him more than anything had before. Naruto was dead serious. He had no emotion shown on his face at all. It actually kind of creeped Sasuke out. Just as Sasuke was gaining back him composure, all of the clones ran at Sasuke with speeds that even shocked Iruka. And just as Sasuke had seen the clones take off, he was hit in the face, hard. Sasuke flew back through the air and landed on his back, quickly getting back up. Sasuke looked over to Naruto, who still had no emotion on his face at all, and as Sasuke was looking at Naruto, his clone snuck around the young Uchiha. Sasuke was still staring when he was snapped out of his trance by hands around his ankles. Sasuke looked down in shock, only to be lifted up by a clone that had been buried underground, and thrown with great force forward. Sasuke was met with a fist to the face, and he tumbled backwards and slowly got up. He looked over at Naruto, who hadn't even broken a sweat while he himself was breathing rather heavily. To say everyone that was watching was stunned was a huge understatement. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Naruto was actually beating Sasuke in a spar. Not to mention that Naruto was hitting Sasuke and he hadn't even landed one blow on Naruto. What shocked them all the most, though, was that these were just clones that were assaulting Sasuke. Naruto was standing off in the distance. He hadn't even moved from his spot. Not to mention he hadn't shown any emotion on his face, at all, the whole time the fight had been going on. Sasuke charged this time as he hit each of the clones, which caused them to vanish. He then smirked again, and ran straight at Naruto. Naruto just stood there like there wasn't a crazed person running at him. When the time came for Naruto to dodge Sasuke's fist, he did just that. He ducked under his fist and quickly punched Sasuke in the stomach, making Sasuke cough a little bit of blood up. He then turned and kicked him in the face with tremendous force. At this time, Iruka came in and stopped the match. Okay guys, the match is over, everyone take a breath. Iruka was cut off by Sasuke charging at Naruto again. This time he was making hand seals and was beyond pissed off. Katan, Hozenka no Jutsu. Fire style art of the Phoenix Flower, Sasuke yelled before releasing a huge stream of fire from inside his mouth. While Sasuke was blowing the fire out of his mouth, he thought he saw Naruto's visible eye go red for a second before it went back to normal. Just as the jutsu was about to hit Naruto, he screamed out, Suetun Daibakufu no Jutsu. Water type, explosion skill. The two attacks collided, steam filled the air only to reveal Sasuke panting heavily, and Naruto lying on the floor burnt. Iruka and pretty much the rest of the class were in shock at what they saw. There was just no way that after all that Naruto had done to Sasuke that one jutsu could take him down, and on top of that, Naruto parried it with a Suetun jutsu. It just wasn't logically possible. Iruka knew for a fact that Sasuke wasn't that strong when it came to jutsu, even if he thought he was, so there was no reason Naruto should have even been touched by the jutsu. Sasuke started walking back to the rest of the class with a smirk on his face. That was too easy, Sasuke said, trying to act as unemotional as he could. Just as Sasuke was about to walk into the group of students, he was hit in the face and sent flying towards a tree. When he was about to hit said tree, another Naruto jumped out from behind it and kicked Sasuke in the back. The momentum made the kick a lot worse than it actually was, and Naruto heard a few faint cracks come from the impact. Once again, a Naruto came out of the ground and kicked Sasuke in the back of the head, sending him flying forward. Sasuke was slowly, but surely losing consciousness. Sasuke looked at the feet walking towards him, and then he saw Naruto's face pop into his line of vision, with the same unemotional expression as before. Naruto just looked at him and smirked. Yeah, as if that would stop me. You let your guard down, and it cost you the match. If you were as good as you think you are, then you would have realized that a Katan Jutsu almost never beats a Suetun Jutsu. But you were so sure of yourself that you didn't even think about it, and that's what lost it for you. With that, Naruto started to walk away, and Sasuke's anger was rising by the second, until he jumped up and went to punch Naruto in the back. The fist connected, but only for that Naruto to poof away. Sasuke didn't have a chance to recover as he felt a crushing force against the side of his face, as he flew backwards into a tree. As soon as Sasuke made contact with the tree, so did a kunai about an inch away from Sasuke's head. The last thing Sasuke saw was Naruto standing there with that same stupid unemotional face on, and then everything went black on him. The entire class was dead silent. They didn't know what to say or how to react to what they had just seen. Naruto, the dead last of their class, well, when he left, had just bested the great Sasuke Uchiha, and without even breaking a sweat in the process. Someone had to speak up, and that person ended up being Kiba. What the hell just happened? How the hell did Naruto just beat the hell out of Sasuke? Kiba then turned to Naruto. Naruto, what the hell have you been doing all the time you've been gone? Training, was all that Naruto said as he walked away. The whole class just stood there stunned. It's not as if they didn't believe that Naruto had trained all this time. I mean, it was hard not to believe. What was hard to believe, however, was that Naruto had trained the whole time. Naruto was the type of person to not care at all and complain when something didn't go his way. Not the type to go out and train non-stop, turn emotionless, then come in and kick the top student's ass in a matter of minutes. As Naruto was walking away, he smirked to himself about his newly acquired jutsu he just received from the Uchiha. That worked out nicely. I got a new jutsu, and I got to kick Sasuke's ass. Naruto thought to himself, smirking the whole time. Naruto decided he might as well just head back to the forest to train some more. There was no way he could get stronger if he was just sitting around his house, in the Hokage's office. So he beat the Uchiha then? Sandaime asked, quite interested. Iruka nodded. It was more like destroyed, but yes, he beat Sasuke. He was like a totally different person when he fought. Well, that could be considered good thing seeing as he was always playing pranks before. Sandaime said, truth evident in his words. Iruka once again nodded. Yes, but I don't think it's good for someone so young to show so little emotion, and interact with others so rarely. Sandaime sighed and nodded. Yes, you're quite right, Iruka, but there's nothing we can do at the moment. He doesn't trust anyone except myself. Hopefully when he is put on a team he will become more emotional and not be so cold towards others. Yeah, I sure hope so. Out in the forest surrounding Konoha, Naruto had completely and totally worn himself out of any energy he once had. He was lying on the forest floor panting heavily. Naruto knew that without his weights he was fast, but he also knew he wasn't fast enough. Naruto knew for a fact that he would come up against people that were a lot faster and stronger than him in the future, and he kept that in mind whenever he trained just for motivational purposes. Damn it, I'm still too slow, Naruto thought to himself, as he forced chakra into the weights. Naruto fell to the ground unable to move. His severe exhaustion was affecting him in the worst ways. Naruto decided he would just take a little nap until Kyuubi healed him, and then he would go back to training. I don't think that a little rest will hurt me too much. I mean, if it does, I just won't take any more breaks, and I'll work extra hard for the next 2 weeks to make up for my lost time. Naruto was soon snoring with his arms and legs spread out, no longer feeling the weight that was actually occupying them. At the academy, Iruka had just got back from his meeting with the Hokage and was getting ready to start teaching again, when he heard some of his students talking. Iruka decided he would just listen a little to know what everyone was talking about at the moment. Kiba was talking the loudest with the other students around him, so Iruka thought he would listen to that conversation. Yeah, I know that was just plain out crazy. I still can't believe how different Naruto was. I remember when we used to cut out of class together. It's really weird seeing him like this, Kiba said sadly, thinking of old times. Yeah, it is kind of sad that Naruto changed so much, but from what I saw he also got a lot smarter too. He used his clones to get some information about Sasuke before he actually attacked him head-on. In addition, the jutsu Sasuke used was either a C or B rank jutsu, and that means Naruto's was either B or A easily. That's really impressive, being able to use jutsu that strong at this age. Shikamaru added to the conversation. Yeah, I would have to agree with Shikamaru on that one. As of right now, Naruto could easily take on any of us, and probably most of the genin in our village. Choji commented. Some of the females were even talking about what happened. I still don't think that was Sasuke-kun that got beat. I mean, there's no way that Sasuke-kun could lose to anyone. He's the best of the best, Ino stated, getting a nod of agreement from all the other girls around her, excluding Hinata. But did you guys see how fast and strong Naruto was? Even if he wasn't fighting Sasuke-kun, that was still really impressive. I mean, I don't think I could ever become that strong, and Naruto did it in only 2 years. On top of that, he did it all on his own, Sakura said in sort of an adoring tone, which in turn shocked Ino. Ino was just staring at Sakura until Sakura noticed it. No, I don't mean it that way. I just mean that Naruto is pretty strong. Sakura nearly screamed, defending herself. The rest of the fangirls nodded in agreement. Iruka figured it was time to cut off all the talking and get back to teaching his class. Iruka noticed, however, that Sasuke, who was usually not paying any attention at all to what was said, was noting his every word. Sasuke must really want to beat Naruto, Iruka thought to himself. Okay class, let's go over some of the vital points of being a shinobi again, Iruka said to the class, which received a sigh from said class. Out in the forest surrounding Konoha, Naruto had just recently awoke from his little nap to find that he couldn't move his arms or legs. Naruto was struggling like crazy and then remembered the weights. Naruto chuckled a little, then released some of the chakra. He was easily able to move around now, but then Naruto decided he would do better with the weight he just took off. So he put it back on, causing him to have to pick his legs up with his arms, which he didn't put the chakra back into yet. After a couple of hours, Naruto was running around with his new weight. He could even jump a few feet off the ground. Naruto then decided he would add the weight to his wrists again. Naruto focused chakra, and in an instant, his arms dropped as if someone had tied anchors to them, which in truth wasn't that far from it. After about another 2 hours, Naruto was freely running around, doing push-ups, and so on again. After about another hour of working out, Naruto was dead tired again. It's not every day that you gain about 350 pounds to your total weight, which already had 350 extra pounds on it. Naruto sat down for a good hour, and then started to train again. It went on like this for the next couple of years. Naruto would wake up, go out, train physically, learn some jutsu, work on chakra control, then work with his Kekkei Genkai, Sharingan, and Byakugan. 2 years later. So you will be going to the academy to graduate, and become a genin, is that clear? Someone asked to an unknown source. Yes, very clear, Ojaizen. Naruto said with a smirk. Okay, good, now go show them what you can do, Naruto. Sandaime said with pride. Naruto just nodded, then jumped out the window and raced towards the academy. When Naruto arrived at the academy, any trace that Naruto had just been smiling with the Hokage was gone. He was dead serious now, and showed it well. Naruto walked into the academy and could feel all of the eyes on him as he took a seat next to a sleeping Shikamaru. Iruka walked through the door and froze for a second when he saw Naruto, but quickly recovered, and called out the next name on the list, Kiba Inuzuka. At that, Kiba smirked, then slowly got up and left the room. After about 5 minutes, Kiba came out with a headband tied around his head as he smirked, walked over, and sat by Hinata and Shino. Iruka walked out of the room again with his clipboard in hand and looked at the list, then called off a name, Ino Yamanaka. Ino got up and walked over to Iruka, and then Iruka turned with Ino and walked into the room. After about another 5 minutes had passed, Ino walked out with a smile on her face and a headband tied around her waist. This routine went on for about another hour until there were just 2 people left. Naruto looked over at Shikamaru, who was still sleeping next to him, until he heard the door open and saw Iruka walk out with the clipboard, for the millionth time. Shikamaru Nara, he said calmly as Shikamaru stirred awake from his sleep. He very slowly got up, lazily walked over to Iruka, and then into the room. Naruto swore he heard this is so troublesome right before the door closed. When the door opened again a short time after, Shikamaru came out with a Konoha headband tied around his arm. Right before he walked out, he turned to Naruto and said, "Good luck, Naruto, it's not like you need it though." And with that, he walked out the door. Naruto just smiled a bit and waited for Iruka. When Naruto heard the door opening, he got up and walked over to the door to be greeted by Iruka. "You ready, Naruto?" Iruka asked. Naruto didn't respond, he just walked into the room. Iruka sighed and followed. Naruto walked into the room to see Mizuki and Iruka sitting behind a desk. Naruto vaguely remembered Mizuki, but what he did remember is that he helped Iruka with teaching, training, and so on. From what Naruto could remember, Mizuki was nice to him, but he figured he just saw him as the Kyuubi like everyone else did. Iruka looked up from his clipboard and started to instruct Naruto on what to do. "Okay, Naruto, we're going to test your taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu. First off is taijutsu," Iruka stated calmly. "You have to fight me for 30 seconds, Naruto," Mizuki said as he stood up and walked over to Naruto. Naruto just smirked and took a fighting stance. "It's about time I actually get to fight someone worth my time," Naruto thought to himself. Naruto ran at Mizuki, which shocked Mizuki because he had not seen Naruto's fight, and had no idea how fast the blonde actually was. Mizuki ducked under Naruto's punch only to be hit by Naruto's other fist. This happened in a matter of 10 seconds, leaving a total of 20 seconds left. Mizuki recovered quickly from Naruto's hit and ran at him only to be met by a punch to the stomach. Mizuki hunched over, and was quickly kicked in the face and sent up into the air. Then out of nowhere, he was kicked back down to earth, and with a hard landing, it was over. Time. Iruka said, shocked that Naruto had just beat the hell out of a Chunin. He watched as Mizuki slowly got off the ground and Naruto dismissed the clones he had made in a matter of seconds. Iruka then looked up at Naruto again and smiled, which received absolutely nothing from Naruto. He had that same emotionless face on as always. "Okay, Naruto, now we're going to test you in ninjutsu. I want you to make a clone." At this, Naruto sighed, make one hand seal, and said, "Bushin no Jutsu, clone technique." Then right after Naruto said that, a perfect clone appeared. Iruka nodded in approval, still smiling over Naruto's successes so far. "Okay, Naruto, the last part of the test is genjutsu. We are going to put you in a genjutsu at some time, and you have to tell us when you're in it, okay?" Naruto just nodded. Naruto was sitting there looking around in search of anything that was out of place, and just then, Iruka's pencil turned into a snake and fell onto the floor. "Now," was all Naruto said as Iruka released the jutsu. "Very good, Naruto, you pass. Make sure to come back tomorrow so you can get your team," Iruka said happily, as he gave Naruto his Konoha headband. Naruto tied it around his head, tilted it so it covered his right eye, and walked out of the room still showing no emotion whatsoever. Naruto walked outside. Sure, he was happy, but it's not as if he didn't expect to make Genin. I mean, he could easily beat all the genin out there right now. He was walking to his apartment when Iruka walked up to him. He could feel his chakra signature. What do you want, Iruka? Naruto asked rather harshly. Iruka got a hurt look on his face before saying, I just wanted to know if you wanted to go get some ramen with me to celebrate your success in becoming a genin. Nah, I'm good, Iruka, there's something I got to do at my house, Naruto said before walking away. Now Iruka was really distraught over all this. Naruto had just turned down his favorite food in Konoha. Naruto once again started to walk to his apartment. The only difference this time was that he actually made it there. Naruto walked inside, took off his sandals, walked over, drank some water, took his high tide off, unwrapped the bandages around his head and took those off, then put his high tide back on, and covered his right eye with it. He then went over and read some scrolls for a couple of hours. After a while Naruto started to get lost in his own thoughts. I wonder who will be on my team. They better be good, cause I don't want to be on a team that sucks, Naruto thought to himself, not even noticing the darkness engulfing him until he lost consciousness. The morning came fast for Naruto, which really wasn't a problem for him since he was just dying to know who was on his team. Naruto got up quickly and did his normal stuff like shower, get dressed, eat a little something, look over some scrolls, and work out a little. When Naruto was done with all those things, he quickly made his way over to the academy. When the academy came into view, so did all of the people going inside. Naruto saw Kiba, Hinata, Shikamaru, Ino, Sakura, Choji, Shino, and Sasuke walking into the academy. As he made his way in also, Naruto walked up the steps and took his seat next to Shikamaru again, who shockingly was awake at the moment. After a few minutes, Iruka walked into the academy, and sat down as he took out a clipboard. Okay guys, listen up. I'm going to tell you your teams now, so listen carefully. Iruka began the list with some teams and none of them had any problems except for the fangirls that were angry they weren't on Sasuke's team. Then Iruka called the next team. Okay guys, Team 8 will be composed of Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame, and Hinata Hyuga. Iruka looked up and was happy to see that this team didn't have any problems with who was on it. Then Iruka continued, your team's sensei will be Kurenai Yuhi. Iruka looked back down at his clipboard, saw the next team, and smirked some. Okay, Team 7 will be Haruno Sakura. Iruka stopped and looked up still with a smirk on his face and continued, Uzumaki Naruto. Iruka was stopped again by a loud noise that came from Naruto's head hitting the desk. Naruto hated the idea of having a Sasuke fangirl on his team. Out of all the possible girls, he had to get one that was obsessed with Sasuke. Sakura was just looking at Naruto, not knowing how to respond to him being on her team. She would have been angry if he was still the stupid prankster he was before. But now he was dead serious and was really strong, but also at the same time had a hostility towards everyone, which scared her greatly, because of how strong he was. Then Iruka announced the last member of the team, Uchiha Sasuke. After he said that, there were 3 different reactions. One was Ino and the rest of the fangirls yelling about how lucky Sakura was, the second was Sakura yelling about how she was with her Sasuke-kun, and the third was Naruto screaming, why the hell do I have to be on his team? How does that even teams out at all? Sasuke is the best in the class, and I kicked his ass, which would make us a super team. Iruka, still with a smile on his face, looked over at Naruto, who was being yelled at by Sasuke about how he just got lucky, and it would never happen again. Then to Naruto's response of, yeah right you loser. I kicked your ass and didn't even need to use half of my true strength. Like you could beat me. Iruka spoke up again. Naruto, your team is possible because since you weren't in our class your grades were the lowest, which means to even out teams we had to pair the lowest with the highest. At this Sasuke smirked and Naruto just glared at him. Laugh all you want, Sasuke, it doesn't matter what my grades are, I can still kick your ass anytime I want to. At this comment, Sasuke could only glare at Naruto. Iruka just sighed, then continued on with the team. And your sensei will be Kakashi Hatake. Iruka then just continued on to the next team. Okay, Team 10 is going to be Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akamichi, and Shikamaru Nara. Iruka was interrupted by another loud thump, but this time it was from Ino, not Naruto. Iruka just shrugged and continued on. Your sensei will be Asuma Sarutobi. Iruka finished off the list, and went right into explaining some things again. Okay guys, just stay put for a while, and wait until your sensei gets here. Everyone just waited for a while until their sensei got there to take them somewhere. There was a slight problem, however. Team 7's sensei, Kakashi Hatake, still wasn't there, and it had been almost 2 hours. By this time, Naruto was about ready to kill someone. He had worked out and looked over some scrolls, but now he didn't have anything to do and it was pissing him off. So when the door finally opened and Kakashi stepped in, kunai were implanted in the wall all around him. Kakashi looked up to see Naruto twirling a kunai while Sasuke and Sakura just stared angrily at him. Well, my first impression of you is that I hate you. Kakashi was cut off by Naruto. Don't worry, I hate you too, Naruto said with a pissed off glare, which shocked Kakashi, but he quickly recovered. Naruto noticed that Kakashi had a style similar to his own. He wore his Konoha headband tilted across his left eye, not his right however. Okay, well, follow me, Kakashi told then new Genin as he walked away. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all quickly followed behind. When Kakashi stopped and looked at his team again, he said, okay now well let's introduce ourselves. You know, say your likes and dislikes, so on so forth. He then pointed at Sakura. You go first. Sakura nodded, then started. Well, I'm Sakura Harino. I like, well, the person I like is. She glanced at Sasuke and blushed heavily. Then continued, my goal, well, dream is once again. Sakura looked at Sasuke, but this time she squealed. Kakashi sighed and then asked, what do you hate? Sakura thought for a bit, then shrugged. I don't really hate anything. Kakashi nodded, then pointed to Naruto. Okay, cat boy, go. Naruto quickly took out a kunai and started to twirl it before throwing it right next to Kakashi's head. Don't call me that. Naruto said calmly, some hate seeping into his voice however. He then went on. Okay, my name is Uzumaki Naruto. I don't really like anything except for training, the Hokage, and ramen. I hate. Naruto thought for a second, then said I hate everyone and everything with the exception of Ojaizen. I hate people who obsess over people or things, and I also hate people who are late. I don't really have hobbies except for training, and there is one person that I need to get back for something, but that can wait until the time is right, Naruto said, not stopping any of the hate from showing in his voice. Sakura froze when Naruto said he hated people who obsess over people, because she had a feeling he was talking about her. Kakashi just sighed. He knew he was going to have to get Naruto to open up big time because this was the exact opposite of how you wanted a Jinchuriki to act. Kakashi then turned to Sasuke. Okay, you go. Sasuke just slightly nodded and started. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I have a lot of things that I hate, and not many things that I like. Also, I have an ambition that I have no intention of leaving as just a dream. The revival of my clan and to kill a certain man. Kakashi just sighed since he was expecting that. Then Sakura looked at Kakashi. What about you, sensei? Kakashi smiled and said, my name is Hitaki Kakashi. I have no intention of telling you my likes and dislikes. As for my dream, Kakashi stopped and looked up at the sky, and I have a few hobbies. Kakashi finished with a breath. All we learned was his name, Naruto thought to himself. Kakashi stood up and started to speak again. Okay guys, we're going to go over to training ground 13 so we can do our first mission. What's our first mission, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked, curious. Kakashi smiled under his mask and replied, a survival test. A survival test? Naruto thought to himself, why would we have a survival test? We just got out of the academy, we should be doing missions now. As if reading Naruto's mind, Sakura spoke up, a survival test? Didn't we train all throughout the academy? Shouldn't we be, like, doing an actual mission instead of training? Kakashi sighed. No, you guys need to pass this test to become Genin. This made Sakura's, Sasuke's, and even Naruto's eyes go wide from surprise. What do you mean to become Genin? We just became Genin, that's why we're here right now. Sakura screamed. Calm down, no, you guys took a test to see if you were ready for this test. If you failed this test, however, you go back to the academy. Naruto was shocked, he didn't know what to say, but luckily for him Sasuke spoke up. That's bull. We graduated from the academy. We shouldn't have to go back or take another test. Kakashi just laughed. Then shook his head. You expected that test to be what makes you a ninja? You haven't even been in a life or death situation yet. How would you become a real ninja without that? Naruto just sat there. He had decided he was going to become a ninja even if it meant killing his newly acquired sensei to achieve it. Okay, Naruto said out of nowhere, getting the attention of Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura. I'll kill you if that's what it takes to become a Genin, Naruto stated with no emotion in his voice once again. Now Kakashi was really shocked by the boy's response. Either Naruto was insanely good at bluffing, or he was going to actually try to kill him just to become a ninja. Sasuke couldn't believe that Naruto could say that with no emotion in his voice at all. It amazed him that someone could say they're going to kill someone, and not show one hint of inner turmoil. Sakura, on the other hand, was terrified of Naruto when he was like this, because she could tell just from his voice that he could kill her without any remorse at all. Okay, then show me what you mean, Kakashi said, actually egging Naruto on. With pleasure. Naruto spat right back. Kakashi jumped back and his location was, now, underneath a tree. He then took out 2 bells and held them up. Okay, you guys have until sundown to get these bells from me. If you don't have a bell by the end, you fail. Any questions? Kakashi asked. Sakura raised her hand and started talking when Kakashi motioned to her. Kakashi-sensei, why are there only 2 bells when there are 3 of us? Wouldn't that mean that someone will automatically go back to the academy? Kakashi nodded his head. This test is to see who deserves to become a Genin and who is still too weak to become one. That doesn't make any sense at all. I know for a fact that teams are 3-man cells along with the sensei. So how could there be a team with only 3 people total when it's required to have 4 on each team? Unless the real objective isn't to get the bells, it's something else. Naruto thought to himself, and then started to think of reasons why this would come up. The only thing I can think of is to test if we can work as a team and not act alone. Naruto smirked to himself. Kakashi looked over at Naruto and saw his smirk. What are you smiling about? Naruto looked up at Kakashi to see him staring directly at him. Oh, nothing, just thinking of how all 3 of us are going to pass this test, Naruto stated calmly, a smirk still present on his face. At this, Kakashi's eyes widened. There's no possible way he could have figured it out before the test even started. Unless maybe what Hokage-sama said is true, maybe Naruto is a genius, and he just doesn't show it. At Naruto's comment, Sakura's eyes went wide. Naruto knows of a way for all of us to win. But how? I can't think of anything that would let us all pass unless Naruto sees another bell that I can't. That might explain it. I'll ask him when we start just to be sure, Sakura thought to herself. Sasuke was also shocked by Naruto's comment. He figured out a way to get us all to pass when only two of us clearly can pass. I hope you're right, Naruto. I guess I should ask him what his plan is when this stupid thing starts. Sasuke also thought to himself. Kakashi looked at his team all deep in thought, then smiled at the idea of snapping them out of their thoughts all at once. Kakashi took a deep breath, then at the top of his lungs screamed, "Begin!" Naruto was immediately back to reality, and was gone as soon as he realized what was going on. Sakura took a little slower than Naruto but did pretty much the exact same thing. Sasuke had vanished before Kakashi even shouted. He decided he should find a good hiding spot until he could meet up with Naruto. Kakashi chuckled to himself. This is going to be fun, I can tell. Kakashi wasn't taking this test all too seriously, seeing as he had his favorite book out and was reading without even looking up. Naruto, who was looking at Kakashi from a nearby tree, wondered if he even realized he was in the middle of this test anymore. Sasuke was frantically looking for Naruto in the thick forest around the training grounds 13, which they were currently at. He knew that once he got to Naruto, then he would be able to pass, just because Naruto wasn't the type to lie about stuff like figuring out how to pass a test. Sasuke just decided that he needed to keep looking for Naruto until he found him. Sakura was also looking for Naruto. She knew that in order for her to pass this, she would need Naruto's help. She just kept running around looking for Naruto. She was so concerned with finding him that she didn't even notice Sasuke right in front of her. When Sakura did notice it was too late, she couldn't move out of the way, and ran right into Sasuke. Woof was the sound that came from both Sakura and Sasuke as they made contact and hit the floor hard. Damn it! What the hell was that, Sakura? Sasuke said in a sort of loud voice, but just not loud enough that Kakashi could hear them. Sorry, Sasuke-kun, I was looking for Naruto and didn't see you there. Sakura explained, telling the truth. Wait, you're looking for Naruto too? Sasuke asked, interested now. Yeah. Why do you care, Sasuke-kun? Sakura asked, sort of shocked by what was happening. Sasuke was actually talking to her. Sasuke smirked, cause I was looking for him too. I need to know how we can all pass without any of us going back to the academy. Good idea, Sasuke-kun. Sakura exclaimed, even though she was planning on doing the same thing. Sakura looked at Sasuke to find him not even looking in her direction. He was actually looking out into the clearing where Kakashi stood. What surprised Sakura was that Sasuke's eyes were wide with shock. Sakura looked over towards where Sasuke was looking and found out why he was shocked. Naruto was just simply walking out into the open, going straight for Kakashi. Not running or anything, just casually walking. What is that idiot doing? Sasuke thought to himself. How could he trust a guy that was stupid enough to walk out into the open, with the importance of him becoming a genin? Sasuke-kun? Came the voice that was very irritating to Sasuke. As he turned to look at Sakura, he responded with a, "What? Why is Naruto walking out into the open like that?" Sakura asked, clearly confused. That's what I was trying to figure out myself. Sasuke responded. What the hell are you doing, Naruto? Sakura asked herself. Out in the open, Kakashi had stopped looking at his book, and was currently looking straight at Naruto. Naruto had a big smirk on his face, which confused Kakashi greatly. Naruto, can I ask you a quick question? Kakashi asked, never taking his eye off of Naruto. Yes, sure, go ahead. Naruto responded, the smirk never leaving his face. How is walking out into the open going to get all of you to pass this test? Kakashi asked, waiting impatiently for the answer. Naruto began to laugh, which shocked Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura. For one, why would he be laughing? His plan didn't make any sense at all at the moment, and Kakashi had just asked him a question, which instead of responding to, he was just laughing. The second thing was that Naruto's laugh was bitter and sounded like he didn't know how to laugh, like it was new to him. Wow, that was the first time I've laughed in about 4 years. Naruto exclaimed, a smile still on his face. Okay. Well, first off, this isn't my plan. I just figured that, well, we have until sunset, and that's about 5 hours away, so why not get some training in? Besides, I don't get to fight people as strong as you very often. I plan on putting my plan into action when time is about to run out, Naruto responded in a very intelligent-sounding voice. Kakashi smiled under his mask. All Naruto wanted to do was to make up for the training he was missing with all this stuff he was doing today. Okay, Kakashi responded. Let's go. I'll give you a little spar if you want it, Kakashi said, smirking under his mask. With that, Naruto rushed Kakashi and tried to punch him in the face, only to get blocked. A kick blocked, another punch blocked, and lastly a kick that Kakashi just dodged. Naruto fell to the ground and rolled to get out of the way of Kakashi just in case he tried anything. Just as Naruto stood up, he felt Kakashi's chakra signature behind him. Naruto turned, but not before he heard Kakashi yell, Senin Garash, 1,000 years of pain. Just when Naruto heard that, he activated his Sharingan and looked at Kakashi using this technique. Kakashi didn't notice, however, since he was busy with the clone in front of him. Kakashi's eyes widened when the clone poofed away. Kagebushin no Jutsu. When did he use that? Kakashi thought to himself, then remembered that Naruto had ran into the woods before he came out. Very clever Naruto. Kakashi once again thought to himself. When did Naruto make a clone? Sakura asked Sasuke, who was right beside her, and was really starting to piss him off. He used it when he went out into the forest right after Kakashi-sensei said begin. Sasuke explained, still extremely annoyed. Oh, was all Sakura said in return. Sasuke was still looking at Naruto fighting Kakashi, wondering what his plan was. He would have just gone out there and asked him right now, but that's not secret at all. Kakashi would hear and then it wouldn't work, or would it? Sasuke was wondering exactly just how smart Naruto was. If he had a plan that would work regardless of what happened, then he would have to be at genius level easily. Kakashi was just waiting for Naruto to slip up so he would know where he was. Naruto wasn't giving off any chakra signature, which shocked Kakashi. Now there is absolutely no way that Naruto could have that good of chakra control. It's not possible. I mean, he surprised me before with stuff he knows, but this is just unreal. There must be something else that's causing me to not be able to sense his chakra signature. Kakashi was looking around until he heard something behind him. He quickly turned around to see 10 Narutos, all with smirks on their faces. What's going on, Kakashi-sensei? One of the Narutos pretty much shouted at Kakashi. More clones, huh? I don't get what you're trying to do. Kakashi stated plain out. That's how it's supposed to be. A now unemotional Naruto said. The one Naruto then looked over at another Naruto and slightly nudged his head in Kakashi's direction. The clone just nodded in response and took off yelling, Katan, Hozenka no Jutsu. Naruto breathed in deeply and then blew out, releasing many fireballs, all hurling towards Kakashi. Kakashi quickly dodged all the fireballs without much effort involved. Kakashi started to relax again before he felt a sudden chakra signature behind him. His eyes widened as he barely escaped getting hit in the face by a foot from one of the Narutos. Kakashi landed and sighed. Looks like I can't read my book after all. Kakashi thought to himself as he put his book away. When Naruto saw this, he smirked, and so did all of his clones. So you're going to get serious now, sensei? A Naruto clone asked, really getting excited. Kakashi laughed. As serious as I need to get against the Chunin, probably. Naruto wasn't happy with this answer at all. He was expecting a simple yes from Kakashi. He was enraged at what he received though. Kakashi still wasn't taking him seriously. Even if he was taking it a little more serious, it still wasn't good enough for Naruto. He wanted Kakashi to go all out. So you're underestimating me then? Naruto yelled, full of rage as he jumped down from his spot. Kakashi's eyes went wide. This wasn't what he had in mind at all. He was expecting Naruto to get mad and leave his spot, which in turn would reveal his place, which he did, but Naruto came down covered in red chakra. It was spinning all around Naruto, and Kakashi could actually feel the anger coming from Naruto just through his chakra. Damn it, this isn't good. I can't go too hard on Naruto. That would definitely lead to him revealing the Kyuubi was inside him, or at least something was wrong with him at least. Kakashi didn't want Naruto's teammates thinking he was a demon like the entire village did. That would just make Naruto become more hateful and go even further down the path he was heading. Naruto! Calm down. Please, Naruto. Just calm down. I'll fight you seriously. 100% effort on my part. Just please calm down, Naruto. Kakashi was shouting hysterically, trying to get something through to Naruto, but nothing seemed to be working. Naruto was too far gone. Sakura and Sasuke were still sitting in the forest when they saw Naruto come out engulfed in red chakra. Sakura looked at Sasuke with fear clear in her eyes. Sasuke just nodded as they slowly and quietly started to make their way towards Kakashi. Kakashi didn't notice a thing. He was still concerned with the boy in front of him. This won't work. I have to knock Naruto out before he gets any worse. Right now he's probably at high Chunin/low Jonin strength. I can't let this go on much longer. Kakashi was frantically thinking in his head. Sasuke and Sakura just kept creeping forward until they were actually out in the open. Once again though, Kakashi had no idea they were even there. Sasuke motioned his arm towards Kakashi and they continued forward, still dead silent. That's it. I am done with this shit. Naruto shouted at the top of his lungs as he charged at Kakashi, pulling out a kunai. Kakashi just took a defensive stance and waited for Naruto. I'm sorry, Naruto, but I must do this. Kakashi thought sadly. Just as Naruto was about to punch Kakashi in the face, he sidestepped, and Kakashi slowly, but intensely karate chopped him on the side of his neck, making Naruto fall to the ground only to poof into a cloud of smoke. Kakashi's eyes widened big time. This is bad. This is bad. He kept thinking to himself, looking around frantically to find Naruto until he spotted him leaning against the tree. Once again he was back to his usual emotionless self, and the red chakra was gone, which visibly relieved Kakashi. Naruto, you calm down? Kakashi asked, some fear still in his voice. Yeah, was Naruto's response. Okay then, you still want to fight me? Kakashi asked, getting into a fighting stance, which in return Naruto just shook his head. Kakashi didn't know what to say. Wait, so are you going to show me your great plan? Naruto let a smirk come to his lips as he said, what, you didn't see it already? Kakashi was in shock as his eyes widened once again, and he looked down only to find that the two bells were gone. How did you? Kakashi partially asked, still in complete shock. He heard a bush rustle and looked over to see Sasuke and Sakura come out both holding a bell. Kakashi, after recovering from his sudden shock, smiled slightly and sighed, "So when did you talk to them, Naruto?" At this Naruto just smirked again. "Remember when I was really pissed off and you were fighting me? Well, as you know, that was a clone. I pumped a lot more chakra into it so it could take some more hits than just one, which in return worked out as I hoped it would. Anyway, when you were fighting my clone, I went over and found Sasuke and Sakura." Flashback. Sasuke and Sakura were watching Naruto fight Kakashi with everything he had until they both in unison felt something on their shoulders. They both turned to see Naruto standing there emotionless as ever. "Naruto!" Sakura squeaked out in surprise. "SHHHH." Naruto responded harshly. "So I'm assuming that it's a clone that's fighting Kakashi then?" Sasuke asked, having figured that part out. Naruto only nodded before he began to speak. "Okay, listen, in a little while my clone is going to do something that will keep Kakashi's full attention on him. When that happens, I want you guys to go over and get the bells. The main point of this test is to see if we work well as a team, which we're going to prove in a few minutes. Trust me though on missions and everything else. Stay out of my way or I will kill you without hesitation." Sasuke and Sakura both froze on the spot. They could tell Naruto wasn't messing around just by the tone of his voice. Sakura was trembling terribly and Sasuke, even though he didn't show it all that much, was scared to death of Naruto also. With that last comment, Naruto was gone. Sasuke just sat there frozen in place. Sakura eventually spoke up. "And Naruto wouldn't really kill us, would he?" Sakura asked, still trembling terribly. Sasuke just looked at her and said, "I don't know, but I don't think he was joking." Just then they felt something strong, and as they looked out into the clearing they saw Naruto walking towards Kakashi engulfed with red chakra. They then heard Kakashi yelling for Naruto to calm down, which they took as the cue to go. They both slowly started moving towards Kakashi. And flashback. Then everything just played out from there. Kakashi once again didn't know what to say, to be able to figure out the real intention of this test, make a plan, and then set the plan into action in a matter of hours. "Naruto, you truly are a genius." Kakashi smiled under his mask at his team. "God job, team. You guys all pass." At this comment Naruto didn't do anything. Sasuke smirked, and Sakura began jumping up and down. Kakashi was hoping for at least a smile from Naruto, but he got nothing. Kakashi sighed, "I guess I'm going to have to get used to this new Naruto." "Okay team. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. meet me at this exact spot. We're going to start some missions tomorrow," Kakashi said, which received another smirk from Sasuke, a happy Sakura, and a Naruto who looked sort of happy. Kakashi sighed, shook his head sadly, and then vanished in a flurry of leaves. Naruto started walking away before Sasuke spoke up. "Hey Naruto, I have something I want to ask you." Naruto turned around so he was facing Sasuke with an annoyed, bored look on his face. "What?" Sasuke got an angry look on his face. "Yeah, okay. You steal one of my jutsus and when I'm about to ask how, you're annoyed. How the hell does that work?" Naruto just smirked when he heard this. He then turned and started to walk away, his hands in his pockets. Sasuke was really angry now. "You didn't answer my question, team." Naruto just slowly turned around and said, "I got it on my own." Then once again turned and walked away. Sakura, who had to break the tension between the two, before Sasuke brutally attacked Naruto, said, "How about we all go and get some ramen as a team? We can get to know each other better." Sasuke, who was interested in Naruto's past, quickly accepted the offer, but Naruto just kept walking. "Naruto," Sakura called, "do you want to get some ramen with me and Sasuke?" Naruto stopped and started thinking to himself, "I could use this as a chance to learn Sakura and Sasuke's weaknesses in case I need to use them for later." Naruto turned back around and started walking back towards Sakura and Sasuke. Sakura smiled when she saw Naruto walking up with a smile on his face, even though her reason for him smiling and his reason were two completely different reasons. "I bet if I tried hard enough I could get Naruto out of his shell and turn him into a really kind, loving person. All I need is time," Sakura thought to herself with a smile. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke walked towards the ramen stand in silence until Sakura broke the silence. "So what should we talk about, guys?" she asked, hoping for an answer, but she only received a shrug of Sasuke, while Naruto gave no response. Sakura looked at both of them and sighed. "Fine, then I guess I'll start then. What do you like in a guy or girl?" "Am I like mysterious guys who are handsome, strong, hot, and are great at everything?" Sakura said with a smile. Sasuke just looked at Sakura as his eyebrow twitched. Naruto on the other hand got it, and actually spoke out. "So you like Sasuke then?" "Why am I asking that though? I knew you liked him and so did everybody else in Konoha. Well, that was a waste of time, I'm gone." With that Naruto got up and left, leaving a smirking Sasuke and a shocked, slightly blushing Sakura behind. At the Hokage Tower, Sandaime was once again working on his never-ending stack of papers when he heard a knock at the door. Sandaime felt a familiar chakra signature from the other side and smiled. "Come in, Kakashi." The door opened and Kakashi walked in with a serious look on his face. "Hokage-sama, how did Naruto learn to hide his chakra signature?" Sandaime chuckled as he figured out why Kakashi was so serious. He of course had gave him a training scroll that was a little more advanced than the first one he had given Naruto, and said scroll of course had that chakra signature exercise in it. "He learned it from a scroll I gave him a while ago." Sandaime responded, still smiling. How long ago, Hokage-sama? Well, I would say it was about 2 weeks ago. Why? Kakashi's jaw hit the wooden plank floor hard from shock at what he had just heard. How did he learn it so fast? Kakashi was stuttering like a madman because of his total shock at what he was hearing. Sandaime thought for a second, then looked at Kakashi. Well, he does use Kagebushin no Jutsu to learn new jutsus and things of that nature, so I'm guessing he used that. If there was a way for Kakashi to become more shocked, he did, because his jaw went through the floor. Wait, so you're telling me that Naruto figured out the actual purpose of the Kagebushin no Jutsu already? Kakashi was on the verge of screaming. Sandaime, never removing his smile, just nodded. I can't believe the team I got. I have 3 genius on my team. Kakashi said in disbelief. 3? Sandaime asked questioningly. Yeah, first I have Sakura, who is a genius if she reads or learns about what's going on. Hence why she had almost a perfect score at the academy, only falling behind Sasuke because he was better at fighting and so on. Then there's Sasuke, who, as you know, is very smart, and since he's from the Uchiha clan, he's also a naturally gifted fighter, which contributes. Then there's Naruto, who, quite frankly, I don't know how smart he is, but from what I've seen, I would say he's a born strategist, and also a born fighter. On top of that, he's able to figure the purposes of things out at amazingly fast speeds, so from what I can tell, I would say he's by far the smartest person in my team. Kakashi sighed. But he's also the least social. This shocked Sandaime. Wait, so you mean Naruto isn't interacting with Sasuke and Sakura? Well, no more than he needs to. I really think the only reason he even made a plan with them was because it was required to pass the test. Kakashi said, sadness and slight worry in his voice. That's a problem. Sandaime stated plain out. Worry overwhelming his voice. Kakashi just nodded in response. What should we do about it, Hokage-sama? Don't worry, I'll have a talk with him, Kakashi. Sandaime said with a sigh. Thank you, Hokage-sama. I really have a talented team, but it would be a problem if Naruto didn't trust anybody on it. I understand, Kakashi. By the way, would you find Naruto and tell him I wish to speak to him? Yes, Hokage-sama. Kakashi said before walking out the door. Sandaime once again sighed and leaned back in his chair. What am I going to do with you, Naruto? At Naruto's apartment, Naruto had just recently got home and he was already reading through scrolls and having some shadow clones try some jutsus. Naruto was thinking about what he should do next since he had just finished his current scroll until he heard a knock at his door. Naruto got up and walked over to the door, and looked out the eye-hole to see the Cyclops standing there smiling under his mask. Naruto just unlocked the door and walked back over to his bed and sat back down looking at some more scrolls. When Kakashi heard the door unlock, but Naruto didn't open it, he took it upon himself to let himself in. He walked in the door to see Naruto on his bed looking at a scroll. Kakashi eyes Naruto's apartment. It was small and absolutely covered in scrolls. Kakashi smiled slightly. So this is why he's so good at his age. Kakashi then looked at Naruto, or one of the Narutos, who was currently working on some Suiton jutsu. Naruto. Kakashi waited to continue until Naruto looked up, but all he did was respond with a yes. Kakashi sighed and continued, well, Hokage-sama wishes to speak with you. Now this got Naruto to look up and he surprisingly had a smile on his face. Okay. Thanks, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto almost shouted. So this is how Naruto reacts when he speaks with someone he trusts. Kakashi thought to himself sadly. If only Naruto could act that way more often. Naruto walked over to Kakashi and they both turned and walked out of Naruto's apartment. Kakashi noticed Naruto didn't lock his door. Hey Naruto! You might want to lock your door. Someone might break in. Kakashi suggested, trying to be helpful. Don't worry about it, sensei, it's better to leave it unlocked. Naruto responded, still walking forward. Why is that, Naruto? Kakashi asked as he caught up to Naruto. It's better if they can just get in rather than break the lock on the door. That way I won't have to pay for it when it happens. I mean, either way it would be the same result, Naruto said, letting a little sadness slip into his voice. Kakashi felt really bad for Naruto. He had to live with this kind of stuff all the time, but that doesn't matter. I don't really care if they break in. I don't really have anything to steal, and if they do something else I can fix it, so it's no problem, Naruto said, trying to cheer himself up. Naruto, if you ever need anything feel free to ask me, Kakashi said with a smile. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind, thanks Kakashi-sensei. Naruto responded with a weak smile. Naruto and Kakashi walked in silence until they reached the Hokage tower. Okay Naruto, Hokage-sama should be waiting for you, so just head on up, Kakashi said with a smile. Yeah, thanks again Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi just nodded, then vanished in a pile of leaves. Naruto started walking into the Hokage tower until he heard a familiar voice from behind him. Naruto turned around and saw Shikamaru talking to Ino. Shikamaru was probably the closest person from the academy that he would actually sort of call his friend. Shikamaru finished talking to Ino and looked over to see Naruto staring at him. He waved and Naruto waved back as Shikamaru walked closer to him. Hey Naruto! What's going on, man? How's your team? Wait, you guys did pass the test, didn't you? Naruto smiled at Shikamaru and answered, Yo Shikamaru, nothing much, they're okay, and yeah, we passed. Shikamaru smiled at him and then asked, who figured out the real intention of the test? Please tell me it was you and not Sasuke. Naruto smirked, yeah, it was me, I figured it out before the test even started. Shikamaru smirked back, same, I always knew you were smarter than you acted, Naruto. I hope we can meet up sometime and hang out like the good old days. Yeah, maybe? Naruto returned. Well, I got to get going, Shikamaru. Ojizen wants to talk to me. Shikamaru just nodded and waved as Naruto turned around and walked into the Hokage tower. Naruto was glared at by most of the people in the Hokage tower, which he was used to, so it didn't affect him all that much. Naruto just kept on walking until he reached the Hokage's office. Naruto didn't even bother knocking, he just waltzed right in. Naruto walked in to see Sandaime doing paperwork at his desk. Yo, Ojizen. What did you want to talk to me about? Naruto nearly shouted as he walked into the office. Sandaime looked up from his papers and instantly got a smile on his face. He motioned for Naruto to take a seat in the chair in front of his desk. Naruto nodded, walked over, and sat down. Sandaime sighed and looked Naruto in the eyes, totally serious now. Naruto, Sandaime began. You have to accept the people on your team. If you don't trust the other members of your team, then you won't be successful throughout your ninja career. Naruto just looked at Sandaime, and then looked down. I can try, I guess I just have trouble trusting anyone. I mean, how am I supposed to know they aren't actually out to kill me? Sandaime sighed. Naruto, did Sasuke or Sakura attack before the incident? Naruto shook his head. Then why would they attack you now? Sandaime asked, trying to reason with Naruto. Naruto looked up. Well, because Sasuke wants to beat me, and Sakura would want to beat me if I hurt Sasuke, and then Kakashi-sensei, I don't know, but there has to be something. Sandaime looked at Naruto sadly. Naruto, you can't think everyone is out to get you. Your life won't be a happy one if you keep that mindset. My life isn't a happy one to begin with. And the way I think of it is, if I don't trust people, then they don't have a chance to gain my trust. If they don't gain my trust, then they don't have a chance to destroy it by backstabbing me. I have reasons for everything, Ojizen. I fight for myself and only myself. I don't give a damn about anyone else as long as I survive the fight. Naruto screamed before jumping out the window, landing on the ground below and running away. Sandaime ran over to the window and shouted, Naruto. Sandaime sighed as he sat back down. Well, Sandaime knew Naruto's exact mindset now. He cared only for himself, and would kill others just to stay alive. Naruto was finally at the end of the road of the street. Sandaime didn't want him to go. Damn it, Naruto, is there any way to get you back? Sandaime said out loud to himself. Somewhere in Konoha, Naruto was running for a reason that was unknown to him. He just took off from the Hokage tower for no reason at all. Naruto, however, didn't have any intention of stopping. He figured he would get his running in for the day by running around Konoha about 20 times. After about 3 hours, Naruto had finished running and was taking a little breather. Naruto looked up and saw Sakura walking towards him, which was the last thing Naruto wanted to deal with right now. An annoying Sasuke fangirl. Naruto started to walk away before he heard. Naruto! He knew he was trapped then. Naruto turned around with an annoyed look on his face. What? A very annoyed Naruto asked. I was just wondering if you wanted to do something today, like hang out. Sakura asked, blushing a bit. Naruto turned back around and started to walk away. Sorry, I got stuff to do. Sakura looked at Naruto's back, pleading, please, Naruto. Just one day, that's all. Naruto sighed as he turned around. Fine, but it's going to be tomorrow. I told you I have stuff to do today. Sakura's face lit up as she ran over and hugged Naruto, causing him to freeze instantly. Sakura let go and ran away in the other direction, very happy. Naruto, however, was not as happy as Sakura was. In fact, he was scared to death just by the contact. It was always like this whenever he made contact with someone that wasn't Sandaime. Ever since the incident, the only other person to ever have hugged Naruto without scaring him to death was Azumi. But Naruto didn't even want to think about that since she had died. It took a while for Naruto to even realize that he was crying slightly because of what the hug brought memories of. The contact made him think of the attack on him, while the hug made him think of Azumi. And if you added those two together, it made tears no matter how you added them. Damn it, I can't be seen like this, Naruto said to himself as he walked back to his apartment. He kept his head sewn the entire time, trying not to make eye contact with anyone. Naruto finally got up to his apartment door and opened it to find the place was trashed. Everything in the cabinets were all over the floor, while his bed sheets were torn to pieces, along with his ramen that was all over the walls and floors. The only thing that didn't get bothered was the scroll Sandaime gave to Naruto. The reason why this wasn't touched, as you might have guessed, was because Naruto was the only one that could open it. Damn it, looks like I have to get new things. I hate this village so damn much, Naruto said, getting angrier the more he thought about it. Just as Naruto was about to explode, he found himself standing in front of the all-too-familiar gate once again. Naruto looked up to see the Kyuubi sitting there with a sadistic grin showing on his features. Naruto just looked at the Kyuubi, waiting for him to talk. The Kyuubi just continued looking at Naruto with the same look. Naruto was really getting annoyed now. Just when Naruto was about to yell at the fox and ask just what the hell he wanted, the fox started to talk. There, it's done now. Naruto looked at the fox, confusion clear in his details. What's done, Kyuubi? The Kyuubi just looked at Naruto and chuckled slightly. I have given you a few things that will help in the outside world. I will also train you to use the gifts to the best of their ability, Kyuubi said with a satisfied look on his face. Naruto was interested now. What were the gifts, Kyuubi? Kyuubi once again chuckled slightly. Well, the first I'm surprised you have yet to notice. Naruto began to speak, but stopped as realization dawned on him. You gave me fangs? Naruto asked, a little confused and slightly angry at the thought of the villagers' response to him having fangs now. Kyubi, however, had a very wide grin on his face. Yes, Kit, and for the other gift just pump some of my chakra into your hands. The Kyubi demanded and smirked when he saw Naruto's response as his fingernails became claws, then went back to normal as he pumped some chakra into them again. Naruto looked up questioningly at Kyubi. Wait, Kyubi, can I get rid of my fangs too? Kyubi just shook his head, which in turn actually scared Naruto. Wait, if I can't get rid of these, then that means that the village will think I'm actually turned into a demon. How does this help me at all? Naruto was shouting frantically at Kyubi. Kyubi just chuckled some. I gave these gifts to you so that people would fear you, that was the point of them. Naruto just sat down. I don't want to be seen as a demon though. Kyubi once again laughed, except this time it was a lot louder. Kit, the villagers already see you as a demon. With what I've given you, however, they won't attack you or wreck your home from fear that you might find out that it was them that did it. Naruto thought over what Kyubi had said. It did make a lot of sense. I mean, why would you attack something that you were scared to death of? Naruto then turned to the Kyubi with a smirk on his face. Okay, fine, thanks for the gifts, I guess. But what are you going to train me in with these? The Kyubi smirked once again. I'm going to train you to fight like an animal when need be. So if you run out of chakra or don't have a weapon on you at the moment, you can use these to attack and kill your opponent. However, I must warn you, the ways you will kill with these will not end up unnoticed. They will cause a lot of blood to be shed. Is that alright with you? Naruto didn't even have to think, he just nodded his head and smirked at the thought of ripping the Umbu member, with the one-eyed wolf mask, to shreds. Okay, so when do we start training, Kyubi? Naruto asked, eager to get stronger. Kyubi grinned satanically at Naruto's eagerness. Don't worry, Kit, we can start whenever you want to. Naruto was really excited now. Well, I don't have anything to do at the moment, so how about now? Kyubi just nodded and started to instruct Naruto. Okay, listen, kid, I want you to go out into the forest and work on killing animals with just your fangs and claws. This will not only increase your skill with both of those, but will also increase your stealth and quickness as well. Naruto thought about it for a bit, then nodded, closed his eyes, and began to leave his mind. When Naruto opened his eyes, he was back in his apartment. Naruto smiled to himself, then started to wonder just how sharp his canines were. Naruto put his index finger up to one of his fangs and gently ran it across the point. Instantly Naruto tasted blood in his mouth. When Naruto took his finger out, he was shocked to see that he had a deep cut where he had put his finger on his canine. Wow, these really are sharp. I never imagined something could be this sharp. I barely added any force to my finger at all, and look what it did. Naruto thought to himself, amazed. Naruto soon got over his shock and started walking towards the forest. Until Naruto felt something dripping off of his finger. He looked down to find that his finger was once again bleeding heavily. What the hell? There's no way that this could have happened just by touching my canine. Naruto thought as he wrapped his finger in some bandages he kept with him at all times. After Naruto wrapped the bandages around his finger, he continued to walk out into the forest. After a bit of walking, Naruto found himself outside of Konoha's gates in the forest. Naruto sat down and started to listen for any sound that would indicate that something was near. Naruto was about to give up on trying, as it was about an hour into his training, when he heard something break a stick in the nearby brush. Naruto's eyes shot open as he sprang up and was over in the area where he heard the noise in a matter of seconds. Naruto then saw a rabbit take off into the clearing. Naruto smirked as he took off after it. Naruto was quickly gaining on it. For some weird reason, Naruto seemed in a trance when he was chasing it. Man, this makes me feel so alive. I have to get the rabbit. I have to. Naruto screamed in his head. Naruto was overly excited now and was about 5 feet from the rabbit. Naruto's eyes were wide and his mouth was hung open with his tongue hanging out. Naruto then jumped into the air, and in not even a second the rabbit was dead underneath one of Naruto's hands. The claws were sticking right into the rabbit, and the blood was running all over his hands. Naruto wasn't thinking at all anymore. It actually was like an animal had taken over Naruto, and was acting as it would in the wild. Then Naruto did something unbelievable. He leaned his head forward and used his fangs to tear a piece of the rabbit off and started to eat it. Naruto kept on doing so until the rabbit was almost gone. At this point though, the rabbit's blood was all around Naruto's mouth as he continued to eat, and then out of nowhere Naruto shot up and started throwing up. Naruto looked down at what he had just seen and threw up again. Naruto was freaking out. He didn't remember anything from the time he heard the rabbit up until just then. What the hell was I doing? Naruto screamed in his head, as he wiped his arm across his mouth, which he then looked down at, revealing blood all over his arm. Then Naruto saw his hands, they were absolutely drenched in blood. Naruto was trying to think back to when he had attacked the rabbit, but everything came up blank. Naruto just sat down and stared at the bloodied remains of the rabbit in front of him. How could I have done this? There is no way I could have ever ate a rabbit without cooking it first. Naruto thought before thinking about the rabbit and the taste that was still in his mouth. Then once again he leaned over and threw up. Naruto was shaking heavily now. He had no idea what was happening. The only answer he could come up with was that Kyubi did something else to him so that this would happen. Naruto just started walking back towards Konoha, but Naruto kept thinking back to the taste of the raw rabbit in his mouth. He even knew the taste of its blood, which didn't help the slightest bit. Naruto walked into Konoha and then started running towards his apartment, jumping from roof to roof, trying to not get seen by anybody. Naruto was now close enough that he actually saw his apartment in the distance. He sighed in relief until he heard someone yell for him. Naruto! Naruto turned to look back and saw Sasuke close behind him, chasing him for some question. Naruto, slow down, man, I need to talk to you. Naruto was panicking now. He knew he had to get back to his apartment before Sasuke saw him. He also knew that if Sasuke saw him like this, that he would think of him as a monster like everyone else, if he didn't already. Naruto was now at his door and burst through it, and slammed the door shut. He then ran into the bathroom and locked that door where he knew he was safe. Sasuke was shocked at Naruto's response to him trying to have a conversation with him. Sasuke saw Naruto slam the door to his apartment, but noticed that a window was broke out, so he went over and climbed through it. Sasuke was shocked at what he saw, as his eyes went wide. Naruto's place was absolutely trashed. There was stuff all over the room, ramen all over the floor and walls, not to mention the blood on the floor and on the bathroom doorknob. Sasuke noticed that it was fresh and for the first time in his life was worried about Naruto. Naruto, you okay? I see some blood out here, and I'm just making sure you're not dying in there on me or anything. Sasuke called, waiting for an answer. He then heard the sink get turned on. Why, ya don't worry about it, Sasuke, came Naruto's response. Even though Sasuke could tell there was something wrong, he just decided he would wait till Naruto came out. Naruto was going crazy trying to get all the blood off of himself. After about a good 30 minutes, the thing left was his shirt, which had blood all over it. Naruto was trying to think of a way to get rid of it, but nothing came to mind. Naruto just decided he would take his shirt off, walk out like nothing happened, and just simply put on a new one. Sasuke was sitting on Naruto's tore-up bed waiting for him to come out when he noticed the scroll that was untouched. Sasuke's curiosity got the better of him as he opened it up and saw a seal. He bit his thumb and wiped it across the seal, and nothing happened. Sasuke was confused. He had no idea why it wouldn't unseal. He tried again, but once again nothing. Sasuke just set the scroll back down and decided to wait for Naruto. About 5 minutes later, Naruto walked out of the bathroom without a shirt on, walked over to his closet, and put a new shirt on which was also black and red. So what did you want, Sasuke? Naruto started off trying to act as casual as he usually did. Sasuke went straight to the point. Naruto, why didn't you stop when I called out your name? And why did you walk out of the bathroom without a shirt on? Naruto's total act of being normal seemed to vanish as soon as that question was asked. What? Naruto, you heard what I said, now answer me, Sasuke demanded, totally serious. Naruto just smirked, which revealed his fangs to Sasuke, which actually made him gasp as his eyes went wide. Listen, Sasuke, you don't have any right to order me to do anything. So just let it go before you piss me off. Naruto nearly screamed at Sasuke, which made him shut up instantly. Sasuke stayed quiet for a while until Naruto talked again. So what did you want in the first place, Sasuke? Sasuke looked up at Naruto and responded, nothing really, I just wanted to talk some. Naruto got up slowly and walked out of his apartment for no apparent reason. Sasuke was shocked at first, but then decided it was his chance to check out the bathroom. Sasuke moved into the bathroom swiftly and turned on the lights to reveal a shirt covered in blood, to be more precise the shirt that had been wearing earlier that day. He also found the sink had blood stains in it from when Naruto was in the bathroom earlier, along with a blood-covered faucet handle. What the hell happened, Naruto? Sasuke thought to himself as he walked out of the bathroom and then out of Naruto's apartment. Sasuke just kept walking like nothing had happened. He just casually walked home, and when he got there it was about 10 p.m. I need to figure out what's going on with Naruto. Something wrong, I can tell. I'll worry about it tomorrow though, Sasuke was thinking to himself before darkness engulfed him. Naruto, on the other hand, had been walking around ever since he left his apartment. I mean, it's not like he could sleep there, the place was completely trashed. Naruto figured that he would just go report it to Sandaime, then go sleep on the Hokage mountain, the 4th's head to be more precise. Naruto was walking to the Hokage tower with a kunai ready in hand. He was always on very high alert when it was night. He couldn't help it, he was just like that ever since the incident. Naruto finally reached the Hokage tower and stepped in, heading for the Hokage's office. Even though it was late, Naruto knew that Sandaime would be there, because he always was, and the reason for that was because of the endless supply of paperwork. Naruto just casually walked up the steps leading to the Hokage's office. He did meet some glares along the way though, but then again he met said glares wherever he went. Naruto got up to the door, and without knocking walked into the room. Naruto walked in to find a sleeping Sandaime at his desk, papers all over the place. Naruto just walked over and slightly shook Sandaime, which caused him to churn and open his eyes partially. When Sandaime saw Naruto standing in front of him, all he did was smile and laugh lightly. Sandaime then slowly lifted his head and looked at Naruto as he wiped the sleep out of his eyes. So what can I do for you, Naruto? Sandaime asked. Oh, well, I just came to tell you that my apartment got messed up again, so I'm going to be sleeping on the Hokage monument for a while if you need me, Naruto said nonchalantly. So again, huh? Man, I wish there was a way I could stop this from happening, Naruto. But you must understand there is nothing I can do about it. Sandame said apologetically. Naruto just smiled softly. Yeah, don't worry, Ojaizen, it's never been a problem before. I just was wondering if you could fix my apartment up again. Sandame just nodded his head, which caused Naruto to smile. Thanks, Ojaizen. Well, as I told you, if you need me, I'll be on top of the Hokage monument. Okay, Naruto, if I need you for some reason, I'll send for you. Sandame said, smiling. Naruto just nodded, walked over to the nearest window, and jumped out of it, falling about 100 feet below, but landing with no problem. Naruto then just started running towards the Hokage mountain. Even if Naruto would deny it, he was terrified of walking around at night, so naturally he wanted to get out of everyone's sight as soon as possible. In a matter of minutes, Naruto was on top of the 4th's head looking over Konoha. Naruto sat down and got a great idea. Naruto instantly stood back up and made 30 clones. Okay, you guys, listen. I'm going to go to sleep, but I want you guys to practice until I lose control of you and you poof away, okay? Okay. All the clones shouted in unison and ran off to practice. Naruto just smirked and sat back down. He was happy with the way he was thinking now. Ever since he lost his eye, he had been thinking a lot more in department about stuff, and it was making him smarter. Naruto fell asleep with a smirk on his face that night. The morning came fast for Naruto as he woke up as soon as the sun came over the horizon. His eyes slowly opened, and he got up slowly. Naruto noticed something almost immediately. No headache? Wow, I need to get my clones to train as I go to sleep more often. Naruto then thought he would have a little talk with Kyuubi to talk about what had happened yesterday with the rabbit. Naruto closed his eyes, and when he opened them, Kyuubi was laying there looking at him. Yo, Kit. The Kyuubi said with a smirk. Naruto stood up and completely ignored the Kyuubi's greeting. Kyuubi, what the hell happened yesterday when I was tracking that rabbit? Naruto nearly screamed. The Kyuubi's smirk just got bigger. I guess you were more animalistic than I first thought. I must say, Kid, I'm proud of you. Being able to just eat the damn rabbit. It was like you did it every day and was a normal thing for you. But I don't want that, Kyuubi. What if I'm with a group of people and I see a rabbit and attack it without even realize it? That would definitely make them afraid of me. I don't want that. Naruto was full out shouting now. Kit, listen, I gave you those gifts for the purpose of making people afraid of you. Those gifts also on their own made you a little more animalistic, which seems to have affected you for the better, since you had a lot more in you than I had originally thought you did. Kit, think of it this way. If you're going against an enemy and you attack one of their comrades and rip their throat out with your claws, don't you think that would scare them to death? Kyuubi said, full of excitement. Yes, but I don't want that. If I do that, then my comrades will be afraid of me too. Naruto yelled, panicking over the situation. The Kyuubi looked totally confused now. Comrades? Why would you need comrades? Kit, listen to me. You want everyone to be afraid of you. That way no one will mess with you. Then we can make sure that we can avoid another attack that will cost you something you vitally need. Do you see where I'm coming from, Kit? Naruto sighed and nodded slowly. He knew the Kyuubi was right even if he didn't like it. Naruto would prefer to have everyone fear him, then have everyone attack him for being a demon. Naruto decided he would just ask the Kyuubi if he could take some of the animalistic characteristics out of him. Kyuubi, I was wondering. Naruto was cut off by the Kyuubi. No, Kit, this is something I can undo. You're stuck with the instinct to kill anything that is a threat to you. If you try hard enough, you should be able to contain yourself around your allies and friends, however. The Kyuubi stated. Naruto sunk at this news. The last thing he wanted to be was what everyone was telling him he was. Now Naruto knew that if a villager was attacking him, that he would go into a rage and kill them. Naruto was scared. This was the first time in a long time Naruto had been this scared. Naruto was thinking as hard as he could to find a way that he would know the difference between allies and enemies, but nothing came to mind. Kyuubi was just watching Naruto with a hint of sadness in his features. Although he would never admit it, he did feel sorry for his container. Kyuubi for a fact knew that there was no way that Naruto would be able to have an even close to normal life now with the gifts that were given to him. Kyuubi turned to look at Naruto, who he had turned from to think, to find something that was shocking, disturbing, frightening, and confusing all at the same time. Naruto was sitting down on the ground laughing. Not hard, but nonetheless he was laughing lightly. Then out of nowhere it exploded into a full-blown hysterical laughter. That sounded like it could only come from a mentally insane person. Naruto soon after stopped laughing but had a sick, twisted grin on his face. Naruto then turned to Kyuubi. Well, I was thinking, Kyuubi, and well, since I don't have any control over my actions anymore, well, why try to control them at all? If I feel like killing something or someone, I'm going to do just that. And no one will be able to stop me. 'Cause if they try, I'll just kill them too. Naruto shouted at the top of his lungs before he broke out into sickly, insane laughter. Kyuubi was actually sort of terrified of Naruto now. Then Kid he knew was gone, and was taken over by someone who didn't care what he had to do to get what he wanted. Kyuubi looked back at Naruto, and then saw him turn and look at him. Kyuubi, I finally found a goal in life. That goal is to, no matter at what cost, find a place where I belong, a place where I have a purpose in life, a reason to live. Until I find that place, I cannot and will not die, even if I have to kill everyone on this planet. Naruto said with a bloodthirsty smirk on his face. The Kyuubi was about to say something to Naruto, but he was gone before he could say anything. Naruto opened his eyes to find himself on top of the Hokage mountain. He smirked and started to walk down towards the village, Haruno residence. Sakura had just woken up and was immediately thinking about the date she had with Naruto. Ever since Sakura had seen how cool, calm, and smart Naruto was, she had taken a pretty big liking to the blonde-haired boy. She was actually debating on whether or not to call him Naruto-kun from now on or not. Sakura eventually decided against it, because that would make it too obvious. Sakura decided to get ready to meet everyone at Training Ground 13 and do some missions. She quickly shed her clothes and hopped into the shower. After a little while she came out and dried off, then walked over and picked out some clothes and slipped those on. Sakura then looked at herself in the mirror and smiled at her appearance. She then walked downstairs, where she grabbed an apple to eat on the way over. She then said bye to her mom and left for the training grounds, Uchiha Estate. Sasuke had been awake for a good 2 hours and had already gotten a little bit of training, and he decided he should head over to the training grounds to meet the others and go on their new mission. Sasuke had been wondering what was up with Naruto ever since he had left his apartment. Something's got to be up with Naruto, I need to figure out what it is. Sasuke thought, determined to find out what happened with Naruto. For some unknown reason, Sasuke decided the best way would to just act normal and watch how Naruto acted. He shrugged and started walking towards the training grounds. Somewhere in Konoha, Naruto had been walking around for a while until he realized that he needed to meet his team at the training grounds. Naruto had been taking a new approach ever since his talk with the Kyuubi. He was smiling almost non-stop and looked like nothing could bring him down. Naruto decided it was better to act this way than to act like he normally did, because if he acted this way then people wouldn't get suspicious of him. The training grounds finally came into view and Naruto could see Sakura and Sasuke already there. But as to be expected, there was no sign of Kakashi. Hey guys! Naruto shouted, while waving and walking towards Sasuke and Sakura. This greeting took Sakura and Sasuke off guard, as the usually emotionless boy was smiling big and was being shocking loud. Yeah, there is definitely something up, Sasuke thought to himself as he watched Naruto walk over smiling. What's with Naruto? Naruto never acts like this. Sakura was thinking to herself, shocked. So you guys ready for a mission? It's going to be so awesome. Man, I hope we get a really hard one, where we have to take out some other ninjas or something, Naruto said rather loudly to Sasuke and Sakura. Okay Naruto, what's going on with you? I know something's up, you're never ever this loud, and then yesterday what happened there? Well, I think you know what I'm talking about, Sasuke said directly to Naruto, getting straight to the point. Huh? Sasuke, what the hell are you talking about? Nothing's wrong with me. What, because I was always quiet I can't talk? Naruto asked, getting a little pissed off. No, you can, it's just you made a huge change personality-wise. First off, you never talked, and when you did it was to threaten someone. Second, you never smiled. If you did, it wasn't a smile, it was a smirk. Third and lastly, you were quiet all the time. You were never near as loud as you are today, Sasuke said, totally serious. I really don't care what you say, Sasuke. I can act however the hell I want to, Naruto screamed at Sasuke. Sasuke just glared at Naruto, and then Kakashi appeared to Fin's Naruto about to attack Sasuke. Naruto, calm down. We have a mission, Kakashi said calmly. Naruto turned and faced Kakashi with a huge grin on his face, something that disturbed Kakashi terribly for some reason. What's the mission, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto screamed, which startled Kakashi more than his grin. What the hell is going on with Naruto? He's acting totally out of character. This is actually scary how happy Naruto is acting, Kakashi thought to himself, concerned for the blonde-haired Genin. Just calm down, Naruto. First we have to go talk to the Hokage to get the specifics about the mission, Kakashi said calmly, but still very worried about Naruto. Naruto just nodded and started walking towards the Hokage tower while Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura followed. They walked for a while until they came to the Hokage tower. They all walked in, and when they got to the door, Naruto just barged in. Hey Ojaizen! Naruto yelled, startling Sandaime. Hello Naruto, he said in return with a smile. What's our mission? Naruto burst out in a scream. Naruto, calm down for a couple of minutes, so he can explain, tell us about it, Kakashi said, rolling his eyes. Fine, Naruto said, crossed his arms waiting for Sandaime to speak. Sandaime cleared his throat and began to speak. Okay, your mission is to find the feudal lord's cat, and return it safely here. When Naruto heard that, he visibly froze as his eyes went wide. Naruto would have hoped that no one noticed, but this wasn't so. Actually, everyone in the room noticed. Naruto, you okay? Kakashi asked, concerned. Sasuke and Sakura just looked at Naruto with concern in their features. Naruto nodded his head and smiled. Yeah, don't worry, I'm fine. I didn't want my team to realize how I was so soon, but I guess I don't have a choice, Naruto thought to himself as a bloodthirsty smirk made its way to his face before it vanished a second later, but Sandaime noticed it. Okay, you guys are dismissed, but Kakashi, can you stay behind for a second? Sandaime said in more of an order than a question. Kakashi just nodded as he team walked out of the room. When the door closed, Sandaime began to speak. Kakashi, I want you to keep a very close eye on Naruto during this mission. I feel something isn't right. Kakashi just nodded. Is that all, Hokage-sama? Sandaime nodded, and Kakashi walked out the door. What is going on with you, Naruto? Saname sighed and got back to work on his paper. What if Naruto has a dojutsu in one eye? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel. And leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.